Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone on this Wednesday evening for Back to the Future Part 1. Sorry for the half an hour delay. Just literally realised I hadn't got Back to the Future Part 1, so I had to get my hands on it. But we have it. I'm all good. Hope you are all well. I'm doing fine and stuff and all of that. Yeah, just before we start, this movie trilogy is probably up there as one of my favorites of all time. It's a movie trilogy also that the writers have actually come out themselves to say that this movie will never be remade as long as they live. I'm surprised they actually said that. I'm surprised the Hitman hasn't taken them out, because the way Hollywood is going right now, I'm surprised Back to the Future hasn't been touched. But there you go. We're lucky and we're safe in the knowledge that Back to the Future is going to be left alone. And yeah, so I sent out a couple of invites the last couple of days. And I only got one response, so I'm only bringing on one guest. That's the way it goes. Listen, I've been saying it all week. If people wanted to join, to let me know. Nobody did except for one person. Well, two people, but one can't turn up because they're taking the night off, which is fair enough. But only one person decided to get back to me, so we've only got one person on the panel tonight. So I'm going to send them their email. This is the way it's going to work from now on. You know, like, I'm going to be sending invites out for all my panels from now on. If nobody gets back to me, then it'll be whoever gets back to me gets on the panel. I've decided not to have set panels anymore. Instead, just to ask people if they want to come on, or leave a post up to let people know if they want to come on. They can come on, because I want to start bringing on, because I've noticed the panels are nearly all the same for all of the watch-alongs, and I want them to be different. That's the whole point. So I'll be inviting different guests on. So if you're on a panel during the week, you know, I'll be hoping to get a different panelist, a different guest on then for the next one. You know, that way then everybody is getting a turn. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I've sent the email, Jed. Your email is sent. If anybody has texted me on Messenger or Twitter, I'll check now. But I did leave messages on Twitter and I did leave messages on Messenger. So if you want to come on, I'll give you a couple of minutes to decide whether you want to come on or not. Now, you will have to have your own copy of Back to the Future. I've had to do all this by myself. The trailer, I put the trailer up by myself. I edited it. I put the trailer together myself. I've done everything myself this time for this watch along. Obviously, I can't be relying on other people, and normally I do, but I have to start from somewhere. So I did the first trailer myself. So we'll have the second trailer dropping soon. So yeah, I better just got a message off someone. So I just want to whack that email out to that person. Now, it might take a couple of minutes for you to get an email. So if your email hasn't come through yet, don't panic. I have sent it. Right, as I said, I sent messages on Messenger and Facebook. So let's see who's in the chat. Well, we're waiting to see if I get any other mess. So as I said, if you want to come on, but as I said, I'm trying to bring on different guests. That's why someone that I'm bringing on tonight hasn't been on in a while. But if you're a Back to the Future fan, you have a copy of this, let me know. Let me know. And I see Retro Dickie this morning. I just want to give him a special shout out because I see he took a photograph this morning of his Back to the Future trilogy. Actually getting people to get their copies ready. So I want to say to Retro, thanks for getting involved, mate. I love these movies myself, so I can't wait for us to watch all three. Obviously, we're not doing all three tonight because we'd be here all night. But we'll definitely start the first one tonight anyway. So now it looks like we're only going to have one guest on tonight then. So I'll give the shout outs. We got Charlie, we've got Disaster Area, we've got Tim, we've got Retro Dickie, as I said. We've got Jed. Jed, I have sent your email. Might take a couple of minutes, mate. But I did send it. I'll send it again now in a second. If you still haven't received it, let me know. We got Disaster Area. We've got Dave Rayner also in the chat. The real Dave Travels Through Time is in the chat. Welcome, Dave. There's someone being impersonating you on my second channel. I removed them last night, by the way, just to let you know. I wasn't able to remove them on my phone, but I was able to remove them on my computer this morning. It's absolutely disgraceful. Teddy Terrier Tales is here as well. Leah Fry is here also. Welcome. Who else have we got? A Problem Being is in the chat. Carsley is in the chat. Hey, Lee. Merry Christmas, mate. Hope you're all set, ready to go, pal. Merry Christmas, all you folks. Do. Children playing, having fun. It's the season of love and understanding. Except for in 22nd 20, there is no love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Tell you, I wish I had the DeLorean because I'd go back to the 80s. I wouldn't. I'd stay there. Wouldn't come back
to yesterday when you didn't ruin everything for me?
No. Back to the 80s. Back to the 80s. Oh, yeah. Right. So, if you're wondering what Cheryl's talking about, I might as well tell you because she's dying to tell you. So, I'll tell you yourselves. So, if anybody hasn't watched the last Star Wars movies, pushes their fingers in his ears right now. Good. Right. So, I told them, I gave them a disclaimer. So we watched The Mandalorian, the season finale of The Mandalorian, and I was literally blown away, right? So I decided last night that I'd go on to YouTube.
No, we were watching.
Oh yeah, sorry, we were watching some murder thing, and I was messing with my phone, and I seen a video come up on YouTube of someone reacting to The Mandalorian season finale. And as you know yourself, we do reviews on here. And we have, over the last couple of weeks, seen Star Wars fans, some of them not be happy with the show. So I decided to have a look, and it was a positive reaction. So I said, sure, check this out. So we check out a couple of reactions until we get...
While we were
watching. So it doesn't matter. They know. It doesn't.
It
Cheryl
matters.
thinks she needs to explain everything 20 times to you guys.
Matters
I've already
because you were
explained.
literally watching
I've already
something else.
explained that we were watching a murder thing. I don't need to say that again to you.
You
But
do.
Americans need to explain everything about 1,500 times, you see. Right? So anyway, we were watching a crime thing, but we had it on pause just again. So Cheryl does
We
not
only
know.
had it on pause because you were
It doesn't matter.
interrupting
Listen,
things.
anyway, here's the thing.
The thing.
Right? Here's the thing. We got to this woman, and this daughter was filming our mother. And of course, she kept getting excited. And then when she seen the saber, she said, that's Luke, that's Luke, that's Luke. It can't be Luke because he's dead. And Cheryl hasn't seen the last movie. So Cheryl didn't know that Luke Skywalker was dead. So she only found out last night that Luke Skywalker is dead. Of course, I'm getting the blame for it because if I hadn't have done the press pause on the yoke and start watching these reviews, she probably would never have found out until she watched the movie. I'm surprised that she was able to keep away from it that long, but that's Cheryl for you. She can if she wants to. But unfortunately, it was ruined last night for her. So she was super bummed last night because she found out that they basically shit all over Luke Skywalker's character, made him drink cow's milk, and then kill him off.
What?
Oh, sorry. You didn't know that part either.
I know. Why are you ruining my life? Why?
So, yeah. So, hey, Chris.
You?
Happy Christmas, Chris. Happy Christmas, mate. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Someone says, he's not dead. That was Jake Skywalker, his twin brother.
Seriously.
So, it doesn't matter anyway, right? All I'll say is that anybody that has been watching The Mandalorian can clearly see that right now, Favreau and his team are retconning what the sequel trilogy did. This is why this show is important. This is why this scene was important. This is why Star Wars fans who have hated on the sequel trilogy all of a sudden are all crying. They're all delighted. They said their love for Star Wars has been reignited again. This has been absolutely fantastic for Star Wars fans. I just wish Chris Chibnall would do something for Doctor Who fans similar. Give us back our Doctors. Give us back our canon. It's at least Favreau and his team are definitely trying to please fans. And you know what? That season finale, that fight in the hall scene, it's just epic. There's no two ways about it. It's epic. And I have to say, it's very emotional when the child is leaving. Now, there's one thing, right, that in that whole thing, that scene where Mando takes off his helmet, right? Cheryl even said it. That scene would have had more to it if Mando had never taken off his helmet during the first during the fourth season. If that was the first time that he took his helmet off when he was saying goodbye to the child, that would have resonated more, in my opinion. That's the only gripe that I have. But overall, I was it was so. Do you know what? It might have been obvious. I mean, straight away, I knew. As soon as he would come into that, I knew. As soon as I seen that X-wing, I knew who it was. I just knew. I kept saying it to Cheryl. Cheryl kept grabbing me shoulder, and their hands were twitching all over the place. I said, "That's Luke Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker." And then, of course, we see the reveal. I have to be honest. I'm not traditionally, as you know, a Star Wars fans, but I have to say I got an old lump in my throat and I was close to bleeding tears, man. And if any Star Wars fan was crying and was bleeding overjoyed, do you know what? I get you. It was even I got that moment. The sequel trilogy is finally being, all those rumors that YouTubers have been talking about look like they're coming true. It looks like there is an attempt by Disney to get rid of this sequel trilogy, and only rightly so. to be quite honest with you, they've destroyed every single original character that we've loved about Star Wars. So, if some people are saying you were in bits, look, don't blame you. Now, again, that was spoiled for Cheryl because I don't. How did it come about again? You were doing something. What were you doing?
What?
Oh yeah, she was looking through. She was on her phone or something, and she seen the post on Instagram, and she seen the post of Mark.
I wasn't on Instagram.
Oh, what was it?
I was looking at something completely unrelated, and something popped up about Mark Hamill teasing his fans.
Yeah, and then of course,
and I was just like, no, I didn't know. I just knew. I was like, he's obviously gonna be involved with Mandalorian.
Yeah, so it was ruined for her, but she still enjoyed it. She still enjoyed, but I have to be honest, it does.
No, it was less exciting than it would have been.
But it was brilliant. I was
beside myself.
I have to be honest, it's the best Christmas present that Star Wars fans could have got. And Jon Favreau, and I'll say it again, I've been saying it for weeks, Jon Favreau deserves an awful lot of credit. He really does. Do you know what it is? It's not that he's a Star Wars fan, right? He mightn't even be a Star Wars fan, right? I don't know, right? But the thing about Jon Favreau is he's a geek. He's like the rest of us. He understands what we like. He understands what we want. And so far, he's delivered. Now, I know there are fans out there that are still moaning because certain characters that featured in this show break canon. But I mean, come on. You cannot slate the fact that these guys are trying to do something different. They're trying to give fans back Star Wars. Jon Favreau is anyway. Now listen, this could all fall apart, of course. They've got all these new shows. You never know, Mando could turn out to be the best thing that we have because Jon Favreau is there. But if Jon Favreau ever leaves The Mandalorian, then you can forget about it, in my opinion. Unless he replaces him with one of his own people, then, Mandalorian could end up being like everything else that Disney Star Wars have done. So, Roy, Jed has gotten his email because he's in the chat. I just want to send a quick message to someone because they sent me a message. So I just want to send them an Right, I've got me copy ready to go anyway. If everybody has their copy ready to go, let me know. I'm pretty sure Jed has his copy as well. We'll just give a few more minutes for a second. Just I've read out everybody's name, haven't I? I did. I have. Tim is here as well. Charlotte is here. Yeah. We've got all the usual suspects. We do, except for. I've noticed Daniel's not here. I hope he's okay. There might be football on. Maybe that's our family because it's Christmas. Well, Daniel, happy Christmas, mate. I'll give you a shout out because you're always here. And the fact that you're not obviously means you're busy with family stuff. So if you do listen to this later on, Merry Christmas, mate. We've got Gregory, sorry, in the chat. He says, do you have a P.O. box now? And if you have cats, I can send you some Tribble cat toys. Thank you very much. That's a absolutely lovely offer. But I don't have a cat. We have a dog called Ted. And unfortunately, I don't have a P.O. box because they're actually expensive.
Maybe send me the link so I can put Ted on the screen.
What you want to?
Well, I was gonna wrap presents and stuff while I was in there.
All right. Well,
I think everyone could use a little Ted.
Okay.
Who doesn't need Christmas Ted?
I don't know.
Christmas Ted.
Right.
Christmas Ted.
Let's bring him on because he's been waiting a few minutes anyway. I can see you, man. I can see it. Right. It's the one and only Jay.
What's up, brother?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and everybody in chat.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Yep. Yeah.
I still
Right.
haven't got to see Elf yet, so I'm kind of ticked off about that. I haven't found it yet. I don't own it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a funny movie. It's a funny movie, but Will Ferrell just does weird roles to me.
Yeah, he
I
does.
mean, he did a movie years ago that I like, but it's still a bit weird called Step Brothers.
Oh, that was yeah.
Yeah, like it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but he's a grown ass man of 40 odd years of age acting like a kid. Like, it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I actually got to watch the Miracle on 34th Street, the redid version, to which they did properly, which was almost a carbon copy of the old one, just updated.
Yeah.
I still love that Miracle on 34th Street. So
yeah, everybody watches that one as well. It's not a favorite of mine, but I'll sit there and watch it. I won't moan about it. Like, there's worse Christmas movies out there.
I think it was on Freeform, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it then.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
everybody in the chat has Back to the Future Part 1 ready. Press 1.
and if you don't have it, it's on Netflix too. So
there you go. It's on Netflix, by the way.
That's how I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it through Netflix, but I'm gonna have
I was gonna put it on Netflix there, but unfortunately, the TV that we have there at the moment, because our new one was fairly new, broke, so we're using an old TV. So there's no.
Did you say it had smoke coming out of it?
Problem. Use a what do you call it? And then go to the American Netflix, and you'll be able to watch it.
No, it's definitely there because it's definitely there because when I typed in Back to the Future on the computer, it comes up on the American one. It's on Sky Cinema as well, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you look at some of the other sites, Lee, if you know what I mean, might be on one of them.
Yeah, if you use what do they call it, so you can hide your IP, just use one of the IP things and then switch it to American, and you'll be able to see the United States Netflix. That I do that to watch UK Netflix. So,
well,
I got VPN.
Dude, I didn't know you could do that. If you could do that, that's fantastic.
Yeah, use your VPN and switch it to America, and you can watch anything.
All right, but not everybody has a VPN.
Okay.
You're saying if you have a VPN.
My VPN ran out, so I can't be asked. That's Lee for you. Lee, just go and find it. It takes a couple of minutes. Here, where are you? I'll send you. I'm sending you a message on Messenger. I know where you'll get it. Right?
Yeah.
Check your Messenger. Stop being a mounhole.
Yeah, he'll hook you up.
It's Christmas, like. Stop being a mounhole. Right?
Hello, Rob, and Merry Christmas.
There you go. I sent you a place where you can watch it. Merry Christmas, everyone.
They had Love Actually on the other day, too.
Feck off. You're as bad as the worst.
I was watching it because I was watching it with one of my other friends.
What were we? Yeah, we were watching About a Boy. That's what.
Yeah.
With Hugh Grant. Yeah, good movie. I watched it years ago, and Charles never seen it, so I whacked it on because I like Hugh Grant. He's alright. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
In this. He's brilliant in this. Yeah.
I start laughing. It's true.
When Noel says stop being a moanhole, I start laughing. Why do you laugh when I say moanhole?
Because you moan the most about anything.
Go on.
Oh, you should have heard him the night he was doing the blurring out of because that idiot that came on the feed. Oh, he was furious.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows. Lee told everybody, didn't he?
I don't think Lee did, but I was there. I was there too. So it was me, you, and Lee, and you went off.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I miss all the fun.
Well, of course.
And and me and him were like Just calm down. You can do it.
But I got it.
Yeah, the irony of him and the mode hole thing is the same as when he says I was taking too long to tell a story. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. 3 hours later. All right, guys, I'm really gonna go now. 4 hours later. Okay, guys. Come here, Ted. Put a 1 in the chat if you would like to have Ted on TV or on the screen on TV. He thinks he's on TV for a look. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. He's literally trying to shove his
Press
face.
2 if you'd rather hear the sexy voice of your host.
Ted is not having it. Ted says, vote for me. Vote
Ted's like, yeah, Ted's like,
Whoa, there it goes.
oh, there's two. There's two.
Yeah, so one and
A one for Ted and 2 for Noel.
Really? Can't be right. Ted.
So
Ted
it's a
has
1 for
spoken.
Ted, a 2 for me.
Yeah. Put a
Right.
1 for Ted and a 2 for Noel.
Ah, Tim is being diplomatic there.
I know he put a 1 and a 2.
I do have a vote. Tim gave me one. He gave a 1 and a 2. Yeah, he gave, so he's being, right. So I still got a vote. I got 1 vote. Thank you.
got a participation prize.
It doesn't matter. Tim, thank you.
Oh, come on.
You're the only decent one in the chat.
Retro give you a 2 and a 1
Oh
too.
no, there you go, Retro Dicky. There's another.
And there's Dave.
I'm just saying he'll be on screen while I'm doing stuff.
Disaster gave you a 3.
Yeah.
What's
What is the
3?
future? All right, I'm out of here. All right, I'll let Ted host then. He'll just be sitting here breathing over the computer. Disaster area is here. We've got Rob Fellow in the chat.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I'm kind of delaying, I'm waiting on something. I'm just waiting for a second.
Oh, that's fun. No, I haven't got to be on in a bit either. So
So we've got I might have I'm not going to tell you, but might have a surprise guest on. Someone says I'm scared of their cats. I don't mean to scare cats, but I don't like cats. But there you go.
I love cats.
Cheryl loves them. I
They're also just
I
loud.
think they're disloyal little pieces of shit.
Yeah.
look at Teddy down there. The irony when Noel rages about starting late but keeps talking.
Bringing it tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I love when Noel just goes and rambles on. Then he gets going and just like drops plates on everything.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm gonna put the mic off there.
Yes, I have a channel, but for some reason the link doesn't work. Yeah, I have a channel, but I only have 2 videos up. So
Oh yeah, good for you. Well done.
Is that their turkey?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the turkey, and
Yeah.
that's a very small.
You told me to get the small turkey and the small ham.
Look up my name because the link I tried to put it on my Twitter profile, but the link wouldn't go to my page. So, hey Chris, do you have my link to my Twitter to my YouTube page? If I could kindly ask you for that.
Well, I don't know what I got you to get those big fucking trays.
Thank you, Lord. I'm from the States,
Yes, I got what you said.
basically in Arizona. So, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lord.
Just give us a second, lads. Just give us a second.
Yeah, we're good. I'll just talk to chat.
You go ahead. You talk to the
Yeah,
chat
guess
for a
what?
minute.
Well, Noel criticizes me for the size turkey and ham I got.
No, I'm
Oh,
not going to criticize, but I do have something to actually say to her. So just give us a second.
Oh, Lord.
I am glad the mod links, the links are working again. Oh, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. When I was on Nerdrotic channel the other day, when it was just him and Az, and I think when they were doing bagging boards and stuff, the links still weren't working. And then the day before, when he was just doing the nooner, the links still weren't working. So I'm glad to see that they put the links still working. So what is everybody going to be doing for Christmas? You going to be doing anything special for Christmas? Are you going to watch any Christmas movies or anything? Sleeping? Problem, you're always tired. You need to get more sleep, brother. Oh, you're all locked down, Lay? Where are you at? Cooking? Nicholas said he's spending the Christmas weekend with his parents. That's awesome. At least you can be with your parents. I have some friends that can't be with their oh, God bless you. You're in tier 4 in Wales. Oh. We are only allowed out on Christmas Day. Yeah. Oh, Flash Gordon. Okay, Flash Gordon, the 80s Flash Gordon with Queen in it, is one of my favorite all-time movies. Next to Back to the Future. And the minute I saw Noel was going to do Back to the Future, I immediately jumped on that. I remember going to watch both of those in the movie theater. So Terrence is I'm going to spend with my family, but I'm going to read it and listen to books I got for Christmas. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. You're going to morning mass. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I have Die Hard. I don't have Elf.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Noel.
What were you talking about there?
Oh, what people were gonna do for Christmas and what were they gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, we've got everything in now. Thanks to Cheryl, I have to say, give her a special shout out there. She's gotten all the stuff for the dinner now in, so just about. So
America.
Yeah, so I'll start prepping. Best thing about it is I'll prep most of it tomorrow. So literally when I get up, everything will be prepped.
Oh, that's good.
And then it's just a matter of throwing the turkey in the oven then when I get up Christmas morning. Because I like to cook it on the day. Some people in Ireland actually cook their turkey and ham the night before, believe it or not, and then just heat it up because they don't want all the hassle of cooking during Christmas Day. But I actually love that. I love being busy Christmas Day. I love the smell of the roast around the house. You know, I love to have an old drink while I'm cooking. And I wasn't gonna say I might as well fuck it anyway. I was going to take a few short little videos for you while I do each step for each thing that I'm doing. And I was going to throw it up on the channel just to show you me prepping, getting ready for Christmas. And then show you the end result then of it all being cooked and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
So the turkey that we got, the only reason why I went off there just for a second was just when I seen the turkey, I kind of panicked a little bit because I told Sharon to get the smallest turkey. But what they done was in the butchers, they basically must have got the turkey for Cheryl, boned it. So they deboned the turkey and they rolled it up into a kind of a fucking long fucking sausage, let's just say.
A log. They just put it into a log.
They put it into a log, so it's easier to cook. But I mean, because I anticipated a turkey, I got me streaky rashers and all my other stuff to keep the breast and all moist. Now I can still use the cheeky streaky rashers. It's just I don't need to use as much of them as I feckin' got. So I kind of annoyed a little bit because if I hadn't known from the beginning that I was getting a bone and roll turkey, deboned turkey, then I would have been.
Yeah.
But in fairness, it does make my life a lot more easier because it's actually a shorter cooking time as well. So that's not too bad. But I'll have all the spuds ready. I'll have all the veg ready the night before. I'll have all of that stuff ready. So the main two things that I have to concentrate on Christmas Day is actually the ham and the turkey, and make sure that they're cooked. Once they're cooked, then the rest, as you know yourself, it's just veg and stuff like that, and the stuff. That doesn't take. In Ireland, we don't do like, starters and all that rubbish. Like, not the way some people in America might have a casserole or something before they have their main and all those other things. We don't do that. We just have the turkey, the ham, the vegetables, and all of that other rubbish. That's it, really. Because we eat the rest, we eat in sweets and chocolate and stuff, So
yeah, well, my gran, she used to do it some of the stuff the night before, and then do the rest of it the next day, and she would do the same thing you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
see, me dad will be cooking dinner in his, and I'll be cooking it here in mine. So the lads on my side of the family, me man, me man and dad's kids, like all the boys and even the girls can cook. I mean, like we're all self-independent. We always have been. One thing I'll say about my parents is when it came to cooking, they had no problem letting us cook with them around. Nowadays you wouldn't see that, but actually I wouldn't let half of the kids into the second. Yeah, I wouldn't let.
Oh no.
Well, Cheryl, the thing about it is though, Cheryl's never really cooked for me, and I don't know. And here's the thing: she told me that she can't really cook that many things. So to me, I'm even very fussy when I go to McDonald's or go if a burger is out of place. Like, I'm really fussy. Like I'm one of those because I used to be a chef. I know the way things should be. And if they're not that way, I won't. I do. I have to be honest, right? I'm one of those people that will
be right back.
I won't. That's Jed's dog.
Ted was talking back.
I know, yeah, having a little conversation. But I thought a point. I'll definitely be drinking, Chris. Chris, I'll have a drink while I'm cooking. Yeah, that's a tradition, all right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have liquor tomorrow.
I mean, even when I go over to my dad will crack open. Last Christmas when we went over, what did he crack open a bottle? Whiskey and champagne and all. He was cracking open.
I had the prosecco.
Me dad just as soon as we come over, he'd have me dad get all the alcohol in for us all. That's the weird thing. Like, he'd get the cans of beer in, then you get the whiskey in, and then last year you got the prosecco and champagne in, right? And literally as soon as we got in the door, he was popping open bottles and, here, do you want to? As soon as I walked in, do you want a whiskey? I'm literally up a half an hour or something. No, I'll have a whiskey in a while. I had one whiskey. That was the Christmas I couldn't drink. Do you remember? Actually, I just couldn't drink in my Maz. When I came home, I ended up drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I couldn't really drink.
I was drinking for both
of us. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but when I got home, I don't know. It's because I'm away from home for so long now. It just feels weird. It's not how do I put this without sounding? It's not like going to a stranger's house and drinking and me feel uncomfortable, but it's just it just doesn't feel. I don't know. Like, I don't mind drinking in front of my dad when we're out in the social setting like we have been, but in the house, I don't know. I just, it's just weird. But tell you, you go over to my house and there's alcohol galore, which usually leads to one or two little disagreements. Every family has them during Christmas, man. It's not always peaceful, but it does be gas. Me dad, I have to give it to him though. Me dad and me man now, basically Christmas, they always throw a lovely Christmas dinner together. But this year, because we're getting older anyway now, so I'll start spending more Christmases with Cheryl, that sort of way. But this year, we did have a Christmas dinner here last year as well, so I did do a Christmas turkey last year. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice one here. It'll be me, Cheryl, and Ted. You know, Ted will get his
He gets his own plate.
Ted will get his own little Christmas dinner. It's the only time that Ted will get at like that, a little treat, because we're trying to keep his keep him.
Fat.
Yeah, we're trying to keep him healthy. We're trying to keep him healthy. Right. I don't know what's happening this other.
He's doing a video.
Yeah. Yeah. He should be here now.
Apparently he's doing a video about Yaz and Jody.
Yeah, no, we threw up a video, didn't he? He's not live. Yeah. Right, everybody in the chat is obviously ready, yeah? I just want to give it another 2 more minutes, right? Jed is obviously doing something there as well, so we'll give Jed a minute, and I'm just waiting to see if this other guest is coming on with us. If not, we'll get going on it. But, oh no, he's here. Right, so we're on time. I don't know if he's staying for the whole lot, but he said he'd pop in and say hello, and it being Christmas time as well. It's a nice little Christmas present for all you guys who love this YouTuber. So here we go. We kept it a secret for as long as we could. It's the one and the only, the Trigger Train himself, Ballstreck.
Fucking hell, where's my goddamn headset? Fucking, it's all tangled and shit. Hi.
How are you? Are you all set for Christmas, mate?
No, but I did just upload a video about the doctor and Yaz boinking.
Oh, yeah. You seen that article by Pink News?
Oh, yeah, I've had it bookmarked for like a month. Well, since it came out.
That's what I mean. She did that interview over a month ago, man.
Dude, I'm lazy, dude.
Yeah, and not only that, my sources actually, even before that article even dropped, actually suggested that Jodie Whittaker was going to actually explore her sexuality, and they were actually going to
I've seen that one. Yeah, the doctor's an alphabet person now.
Here, the rumor is it's going to be with Marilyn Monroe.
Whatever. Fuck it. I'm just getting my popcorn. I'm here to laugh at it now. A shit I don't give.
Christmas tree. What are you talking about?
Has her own Christmas tree?
Hey, Bull.
Christmas tree.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, man. What you doing? I haven't seen you yet.
I think. Oh, yes. Hello.
Yeah, I've watched your videos and stuff before, but I've never got to talk to you yet.
Awesome. So cool. You are Jed, and you're a Toad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hello, Toad. I'm a local.
No, just call me. Yeah, either call me Jed or Toad, whatever. You know.
Okay. We'll call you the Toad. I have a goat, so it's all good. And apparently, you said Cheryl is surprised that Lexi has her own Christmas tree.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not surprising. She's a husky. She's got a snow tree.
Has she got her own stocking as well?
She has her stocking. I got her present this year, or her big present. She's getting a brand new bed, which will take up half my living room, so she's going to be happy about that. And I can't stay too long because my day's going to get crappy. I have to go out, and so they're locking before they lock my province down again completely. I have to head out to Walmart, which is going to be just something out of hell. Then I have to finish my Christmas shopping. I have to go to Toys R Us because, yes, we still have Toys R Us in Canada, and I'm going to want to gouge my eyes out. Honestly, dude, I'm going to have an afternoon in hell. So December 23rd in Canada is always the busiest shopping day of the year. But not only is it the busiest shopping day of the year, but they're shutting us down completely Christmas Day.
Well, they're shutting us down as well. And this time we can blame the bleeding UK, because the UK bleeding minister comes out and tells everybody, by the way, just to let you know, the virus has mutated. And when he said that, then all the other countries around Europe start panicking. There's no flights in and out. Most countries have actually stopped sending flights to Britain and actually stopped people from going to Britain. And that's why we're all being locked down a second time, because of this idiot. Because he came out and said, that's what viruses do, you idiot. They mutate. What the hell?
Yeah.
We got the same thing. Well, here's what makes me mad, Noel. So this is going to completely destroy our economy, because having been, I'm not anymore, thank God, but having been a retail manager for years, this is where most companies make most of their money.
Christmas.
True.
I go to the
True.
we've got two malls. Well, we've got the large one downtown. That's the one that the scary Walmart's attached to. A year ago, you could walk into that mall and it was full. It was the largest mall north of Toronto and one of the most profitable malls in the country, mainly because the other mall sucks. So I went in there this week just out of curiosity, and my God, it's like it's so depressing. So this is going to destroy our economy.
Yeah.
So I guess we're discussing Back to the Future today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The first one.
This is so had they gone into the future, this is worse than anything they could have
That's what
imagined.
I mean, look, I was even joking to the wife before, even on this stream. I said, "Do you know, I'd love to get my hands on that DeLorean and I'd go back to the 80s, just live there,
I
just
would-
stay there." I mean,
No, I'd go back to the 90s, man.
would you? Yeah, but you could live through the 80s and then live through the 90s. Then you could have the best of both eras. And the
I know.
early
I'd do that.
wasn't bad either. But as soon as it gets to, I'll tell you when it all changes. Changed after September 11th, actually. That's when the whole world changed. When that
Yeah.
whole thing happened. The world became a
Where we
cold
are
and awful place after that. And it's been shit ever since then. It's been shit ever since then. Ever since it turned.
Well, it's been shit and all, but it wasn't this shit.
No, you're
Even
right.
2008 wasn't this shit.
Yeah,
No,
you're right.
no, it
You're
wasn't.
right. You're right.
And it was bad back then too, but it was
Yeah,
worse.
it
now.
was, but this is worse.
Yeah.
This is worse. It is. Do you want us to start the movie, Ballstrick, or are you just going to talk for
I was just going to say hi, but what I will do, the movie's what, an hour and a half long?
Hour and 56 minutes with credits and everything. I have it on Netflix.
Here's what I may do, because oh crap, is it streaming anywhere? Because I don't have it on DVD.
Netflix.
Okay, it's on
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, but here's what I need to do. So I have to go and experience my very own form of Jingle All the Way Hell.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to start watching the movie, if I'm still alive in 2 hours and I'm not dead, which is a distinct possibility, I will come back and give my thoughts. But yeah, I have to get this done or I'm completely
No problem.
screwed.
Yeah, sure. Here, listen. Over this period, we're going to be doing Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. So,
All right, well, I will let you guys start, and then if I can, like I said, pray for me because I
We will.
want to experience
We will.
like bad
yes,
health.
try
that I
take a
wouldn't
few
wish
here.
on
If you
anyone.
can, try to, like you did the last time, try to take a few photographs of all the madness.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're all up on that right now.
No, I do. Yeah.
Body slam.
You probably get it back. Yeah, no, don't actually do that. You're right. Right, listen, you take care, look after yourself. And listen, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, I'll be back. So if you hear from me later on in the podcast, that means I'm not dead. If you
Okay.
don't hear that, it means I got trampled to death at either Walmart, the bookstore, or Toys R Us. I'm like actually having a panic attack thinking about going into Toys R
Don't
Us.
worry, if that does
We-
happen, we'd have a whole week in your honor.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so I may be dead. So wish me luck. This may be the last time you ever hear from the
Be
Trigger
safe.
Train.
You know.
I'll turn everything over to the goat.
No, that's it. That's
Cheers,
it.
all. See you soon. I hope.
See you
Be
later.
safe, brother.
No, nice talking to you, Jed. Just in case I do die.
Nice talking to you too, Bull. I want to talk to you more later on too. So you know.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm sure as long as I don't die today.
And the
we'll
wife
stream
wish you
again.
a Merry Christmas as well, Bob.
Oh yes, Merry
Yeah,
Christmas,
if
everyone.
if we don't see you again, have a good Christmas at least. Please try to.
Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. If I
Yeah.
come back, I'll sing a Christmas song.
Okay.
I'll bring Lexi, and maybe she'll do background.
Lovely.
Okay, I'm off to hell now.
See you later, pal.
Oh yes, and Lee Fry said Toys R Us is still going, only in Canada because we were actually owned separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But
love
it's
Toys R Us.
a whole other story. But I'm going. Actually, I'm going there first. Just get this.
Yeah.
over with.
I love those Toys R Us ads. They were brilliant. Toys R Us. We had Toys R Us here, and it was sad to see that company go. There's actually a YouTuber that does companies that went bust like that, and they show you.
Oh
them-
yeah, there's
Yeah.
Company Man. Company Man is one.
That's him,
Great
yeah.
Sun Films is another one. Oh, they're great channels. Some
Yeah,
people
great
like
Yeah.
some of those channels. They're actually really good. But I must go. I will be back though.
See you later, pal.
Okay,
Right, we've
cheers,
got
man.
Be safe.
We've got a £5 super chat, so we'll read this and then we'll get going. and hopefully Ballstrek will be back in time for when to give his review and his rating. So Nicholas Horton says, I got a notification for your video, Ballstrek. So there you go, Ballstrek. It looks like your channel is starting to, because you were saying that you were killing your channel, but it looks like your notifications are starting to work again. Actually, interestingly enough, did many people get notifications for my videos? And please make sure you're still subscribed, will you? Because YouTube are doing this thing, right? They do it to everybody. It's not just me. It's happening to Ballstrek as well. He lost over 200 subscribers.
It also happened to Az. It happened to Gary. It happened to Doomcock. It happened to a ton of people.
Yeah. So make sure, because YouTube is actively unsubscribing our subscribers. And it is subscribers, because people will come and say, I'm not subscribed to your channel anymore. And that's the confusing thing. So I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what they're playing at, but that's what they're doing anyway. So just make sure that you're still subscribed. Right.
Here's another thing that you might want to tell people. When I went on there to talk to you on Twitter to let you know and stuff, Twitter's unfollowing people off counts now too.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
I had to follow like Ravi and a bunch of other people back, because that was in our chat on Twitter.
Yeah,
I had everybody checked on there.
Do you know what I think is happening, Jed? I think what's happening is if accounts are less active than what they've been, I think Twitter is taking it upon themselves to say, "Oh, that person must be gone," and they're basically getting rid of accounts. But they shouldn't be doing that anyway. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, they don't have a right to be doing that, do they?
No. Well, that's the reason why I have a backup account on Parler. So
yeah. Well, I have an account on Parler. I just throw the videos up there. Don't interact on Parler, not right now anyway. But yeah, have that as a backup. But when I got suspended by Twitter, and that time when they suspended me and a couple of others accidentally, actually, all the J-bots were celebrating because they thought I actually got kicked off. But it was a mistake by Twitter.
I was wondering where you were at.
I set up a second Twitter account now. It's protected, and I've only got certain people in that account because it's a private account. But I don't even use that account either. It's just there just in case me original Twitter account ever gets taken down. And the thing about it is they won't be able to take down the other account, because for the simple fact is it was created ages ago. So if I was to get suspended now,
you need to add me on that other one though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So right, we're gonna get going anyway.
Okay.
So where's my earphones? Because what'll have to happen is
I'll tell you, if you guys hear it, if it gets too loud on my end, because I got to have the headphones in to hear Noel and everybody else, I'll turn the volume. But if it gets too loud in the background, let me know.
You won't hear that. No.
Yeah, I'll turn it down to like 17 or something.
I won't hear anything.
No, because I have to put my earphones.
Lee, my Twitter is the same as my my name on here. So if you want to follow me on there, I'm on Facebook, everything. So.
Oh well, I'll just have to mute it every time I want to talk.
I'm just gonna leave the mic open and turn this on down a little bit. You know.
Yeah, you see, I'm watching it on my computer, so I have to. So
and you can turn the caption, closed captions on, so you can see what they're saying too. So.
Yeah, I'll be grand. I'll be okay. Hold on now. I just want to get it set up. So.
Yeah, I have it started, but it's like 2 seconds in. But it's where the Orion logo is there, so, or the Universal one of it. So you saw Terrence, you're gonna leave, or are you just gonna read a book and have us on in the background?
Right. Okay, everybody in the chat ready, please press 1. We are ready to go. We are ready to go. And thank you, Nicholas Horton, for that £5 super chat. Really do appreciate it. Let's hope Balstrak does come back in time. He will. He
Yeah.
will. You don't worry. He if he says he's going to come back, he normally does. Let's hope.
Yeah, he does.
Out of Walmart alive. That's.
Dude, I wouldn't want to go to Toys R Us on Walmart today. Like, it's the 23rd, and it's just, I know it's madhouse even out here.
Right,
Yeah.
we've got a couple of ones in the chat, so I think we are ready to go.
Okay.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll get Jed to do the countdown because I have to put myself on mute now to switch over to start playing it. So as soon as I hit mute, Jed, you can go ahead and do the countdown. You can do it from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we press play at 1, guys. Press play at 1. So as
Okay.
soon as
Are you still gonna be able to talk to me and stuff, Till?
Yeah, I will. I'll just have to mute every couple of every so often. Yeah, I will be able to talk to you, but you can talk as much as you want.
Oh yeah,
because when you're on with me, Lee, Rabbi, and others, you don't really get an opportunity to talk that much. So now I'm on with you. Now you're gonna get loads of time to talk.
Oh, I know.
So it'll be good. It'll be good.
I'm a talker too, so
that's it. So right, I'm going to mute myself now and switch over.
So everybody's ready. You're all ones in the chat. We're all good. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. I'm at the Universal logo, so. They're taking it off of Netflix on December 31st. Mm-hmm. Said that at the top. Thunderbirds are go, yeah, right. The first time I saw this, I thought this was like the coolest thing ever. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but I love time travel and stuff. So, because I saw this like the very first day it came out. Hi, Cam. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I got to see it the first day it came out in the movie theater. And they okay, here's the thing. They put so much lore into this whole setup scene right here about his dad and everything else in the past things of Hill Valley and stuff. You know? Oh, I loved it. I was an 80s kid. You know? I was like, you know, I was born in the 70s, late 70s, early 70s, somewhere around there. But then I was an actual kid. I can actually remember stuff. Like, first time I can remember stuff was like 77. Conveniently, the year that Star Wars came out, you know. Like, and here's the thing about this opening scene right here. They don't do things like this no more. You know, where they set up the whole sequence. You know. Oh, I have, Charlotte. I've played it all the way through. That is the true sequel to Back to the Future. That's literally the fourth movie right there.
Yeah, I've played the Telltale game.
It's literally the fourth movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If anybody wants the ending to it, play the game. You can still get it. I think you can get it on PlayStation 4 as well. I think it's still available.
Mm-hmm. You can still get it on Xbox too.
So yeah, it's worth getting. Love these movies. But the third one, I like the way it ended in the movies, to be quite honest with you. But
Yeah. But like the Ghostbusters game that came out, that was literally Ghostbusters 3.
yeah.
When they came out with the video game.
Mm.
Okay. I got to see this part right here in the biggest theater we had in Phoenix. Okay. It had massive Dolby stereo, like these big ass speakers on the biggest screen. When this part happened right here, you could feel the bass throughout the whole entire auditorium. When this part happened, it just boom. Like, Noel, do you remember those big Dolby speakers they had back in the day at the big theaters and stuff?
Yeah, I do. They were actually when I was growing up, though, they were actually phasing them out, and
Yeah.
they were obviously then hooking the new surround sounds that they were coming out with in the cinema.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do remember them. I mean, very powerful. I mean, and you are right. Even though I never went to see this in the cinema when I was younger, they have shown this movie since I've been an adult, actually, a couple
Yeah.
of times in a couple of cinemas and a one-off, and I've actually went. It's so much better on the big screen.
Oh, it is.
TV
I
doesn't
mean,
do it justice, to be quite
like
honest.
literally, there's certain movies you have to see on the big screen at least once. The original Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Star Wars, Empire, Flash Gordon, you know, E.T., like just like Wrath of Khan, you know, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, you know, like there's so many movies that, and there is a movie that I love, and I know a lot of people don't like, Xanadu. Oh, love that movie because that was Gene Kelly's last movie. So it's 8 o'clock, Doc. We're 25 minutes slow. Wait a minute, Doc. 8:25? I'm late for school. Hit Huey Lewis. Okay, when I was a kid, this part, because I was a skateboarder. I was like, when I was younger, in the 80s and 90s, I didn't go pro or anything. I just like screwed around my skateboard. But when he would grab this part right here, when he grabbed on the back of trucks and stuff, I used to do that all the time. You know, that's how I'd get around like the town I lived in when I was younger, in here in Arizona. But it screwed your wheels up really bad, and you had to change them a lot if you would like hold on to cars and stuff. So you had to like fix your deck all the time and stuff on your wheels. I don't know if anybody's ever got to go to the Universal tour. They still have this whole set up there.
Yeah,
So
it's one of the most popular movies ever made.
yeah, I got to go to see the set. The set is awesome. You know.
I can hear it, Jed. Can you just turn yours down a little tiny bit, because I can hear it in the background, just a tiny bit.
Okay, is that better? Is that
I
better?
can still hear the principal.
Okay. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. It's just in case, you know yourself. I don't want the stream to be pulled because
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I know how they're doing lately.
Yeah.
Oh, Flash Gordon is amazing on the big screen.
Yeah.
You know. Oh my God, I got to see that at the Cine Capri out here before it got torn down and remade. There is a movie. I don't know if you ever seen this, Noel. Oh, here's Huey Lewis. A lot of people didn't know that was Huey Lewis when he did that, but So, this sets up for later on, and everybody's seen Back to the Future, right? And is everybody in chat seen Back to the Future? So I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, right? Oh, the Lego Dimensions games were cool, retro. It's a shame they discontinued them.
They sacked his girlfriend for the other movies. No, as far as I know, the woman she wasn't sacked because she's been playing the voice actress in the cartoon, as far as I know, and also she played the voice actress in the game. I think what happened was when they were filming the second one, she was already involved in something else and she couldn't get out of it, so they recast the role. She was never sacked because she's still gone around doing Back to the Future. Well, she was before this pandemic, but she was still going around doing the cons and talking about Back to the Future. The only one that was sacked out of Back to the Future, actually two people were sacked out of Back to the Future, was the original guy that was supposed to play Marty McFly, and also Crispin Glover was also sacked. He's in part 1, but they use a double for part 2 and 3. He wasn't actually in the other 2 because apparently he's a bit of a weirdo, and on set he was acting a bit ridiculous and made the cast and crew very uncomfortable. Now, he's been very bitter about this for years. He doesn't like talking about Back to the Future, and he refuses to talk about anything to do with Back to the Future. Same with the actor that played the original Marty McFly. Actually, there was always rumors that there was someone else, and then when the anniversary Blu-ray dropped, or DVD at the time, they actually showed for the first time the footage of your guy, what was his name?
Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have to be honest, right? He is a different style of actor. He's in The Fly too, and I love him in that. He's also he's been in other movies as well. I like him. I think he's a good actor. Would I've liked to have seen his version of Back to the Future? Yes.
That
would have been
kind of like, that's kind of like saying that he was he was going to be Superman. Who was going to be Superman? It was going to be
Nicolas Cage was going to be
Nicolas Cage going to be Superman. But I can only picture certain people, I was just
I agree with you. And I mean, Michael J. Fox was the right choice. But what I'm saying is, I think the way the movie turned out is what they wanted.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but the actor that they got, they were never going to get that movie. His movie would have been actually a lot darker. Now, to me, right, you can't touch the trilogy, but there's still a part of me. There's still a part of me after seeing those scenes, right? And I said to myself, I would actually like to see that. I would actually like, because they were 6 weeks into filming. So when they decided to make the decision to ask Michael J. Fox again, and they originally wanted Michael J. Fox, but they couldn't get him because he was on Family Ties. But then
that was true about that. Yeah. And another reason why Stoltz got stacked is because he was a troublemaker on the set and he was making life difficult. Now, Michael J. Fox was like, hey, I'm going to play with the team. Eric Stoltz we all knew he was a bad boy even back then.
Yeah, I do agree. And he's a more intense actor. He's more, he likes to improvise quite a lot. But I have to say that even the scene that they showed where he's in the cafe and he's looking at his dad, and they do the side-by-side comparison of Michael J. Fox and Eric's scene, there's not really much of a difference. I would actually have to say I think Eric comes across a lot more better in that scene, if I'm quite honest with you. But the thing about it is, you have to look at the movie as a whole. And when you look at Michael J. Fox at the start of the movie, and then you look at that scene, it fits. You know, it's just I would have loved to see, and I still do. They were 6 weeks into filming, so we don't know, because here's the thing: they've never actually come out and said how much of this movie they actually filmed. But some have suggested that they were just basically done. Right? I would love them to put out a version of that movie. Just on the, you got to shut. They're not replacing the Michael J.
There's been rumors that there's another copy of Back to the Future with Eric Stoltz out. This urban legend, I've heard this ever since I was a kid, that there's 2 copies of this movie out there. Okay. And then they don't want the other copy getting out. So it's like Disney locks things away. But Disney has things that we've never seen that they don't want out there. And that there's a copy of this out with Eric Stoltz and they don't want out.
Well, I would like to see that copy. I just want to see it. I wouldn't even tell. Do you know what? I'd even make.
Yeah.
And I would do this. If Disney came to say, okay, you really want to see this movie, but here's the deal. We'll show you the movie, but you can never discuss it.
Yeah, you can't.
I wouldn't discuss it because I really want to see this movie. I really do. I want to see what a darker version of Back to the Future would have looked like, because that's the way it was going. That's where it would have went. But
a darker version of Back to the Future is Back to the Future 2, though.
Yeah, that kind of was a bit dark, but still, if they had started off that way, it's. Look, nothing will touch the Michael J. Fox version, but this is just because I am a huge Back to the Future fan. I kind of want to see everything that's connected to it, even if there is this so-called second movie that is out there. I want to see it. I'd love to see it. And you know what? I think Eric deserves it because he has been very bitter, and I don't blame him. 6 weeks into filming and then he gets sacked. You know, you're not quite right for the part. You're not the person that we wanted. Imagine being told that. Like, that's not going to be nice, even if he was a bit of a troublemaker. Look, we've had our Hellraisers in Hollywood.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? And they've always managed to. His career never really
balanced out and did anything because he was always in trouble.
Yeah. So I mean, but this could have been the highlight of his career, but it never really went anywhere after he got dropped from this movie. So for him, I would like people to see his version. I think he deserves it. It wouldn't take away from Michael J. Fox. Because look, the love for Michael J. Fox's version is never going to be tainted. It won't, because everybody just loves that trilogy so much. If you ask anybody to name their top trilogy ever, Back to the Future will feature in everybody's top 3. Definitely. Definitely. Most people's number 1. It's one of those trilogies that fans, yes, it does have its problems in some places, but overall, it's a trilogy that was done with love and care. You know, you can see that. These guys.
Well, here's the thing about this. Eric Stoltz is an accomplished actor because as he got older, he kind of like chilled out some, and then he did get some other acting gigs, but he never did reach the top of where he could have been.
He should have been. I'm being honest, because he was in movies when he was younger where they were bleeding hits, and I thought this young lad he's gonna be a superstar. That's what he should have been. He never reached superstardom, and that's the sad thing about it. Because I think he does have the talent.
Here's another funny thing. Okay, I went to Universal Studios, and the guy that replaced Kristen Glover in 2 and 3, he works at Universal still to this day. He actually plays his dad. I've actually got to meet him, and this was like 10 years ago, but I still talk to the guy now and then. He still plays Marty's dad because they used to have the Back to the Future ride there. I rode the Back to the Future ride like 1,000 times, maybe 500, 800 times. One day I went on it like 10, 15 times because I love that ride at Universal. But yeah, the guy that played in 2 and 3, he works at Universal, and then he did other stuff too.
Yeah.
So But what you were saying, yeah, he never could recover from that.
Yeah, he never did recover. He never did recover. And it's sad because, as I said, he should have been a superstar, but he wasn't.
And there was another thing. It like the Star Wars movies. There was a huge gap from Back to the Future to Back to the Future 2 and 3 because 2 and 3 were filmed back to back.
They were, yeah.
There was a huge amount of. It was like a decade, maybe.
Yeah. Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis actually have a little bit of regret over 2 because they believe that they filmed too quickly, which they did. They got 2 done in no time whatsoever, and then they actually took their time on part 3.
You can actually see on 3 that they took their time.
Yeah,
you can if you go in 2, you can actually see where they rushed because some of the stuff just rushes along. On 3, you can actually tell they took their time. And I love 3 more than 2, actually.
Actually, that's the weak link of this whole trilogy. You ask anybody,
2
is number 2 the weak link, but still insane that it's weak. But not weak as in
not weak in a bad sense, but it's kind of like how the originals. It's kind of like Star Trek: The Motion Picture is the weak link out of the Star Trek franchise, but 2, 3, 4, and 5 are awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not that bad though. That's the thing. It's still a high.
It's
standard.
not bad.
It's just some of the concepts in it, some of the ideas that they had in it just didn't make.
But some of the stuff in it was really cool because it gave part the stuff we actually have nowadays. Today.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: Back to the Future, Star Trek, and Star Wars actually push things forward to stuff we actually have today. So you think he should have stood his ground? There's a funny story about the title in Spielberg. Yeah, there's tons of stories. When I was at Universal, I talked to the guy, some of the people that actually worked on Back to the Future. So he's like, not me, Marty. Look at this.
By the way, just to let you know, Sharon is putting some facts or so-called facts in the chat. Some of them I'm disputing. The Crispin Glover one is a lot of crap, actually, because I've seen an interview on YouTube where he does a radio interview and actually talks about the rubbish. But the rest of it, she's right. Your woman's mother did have cancer and died. Or something like that. So that's why she didn't. She wasn't sacked. But the Crispin Glover one's a lot of balls. We all know the story. I've seen an interview, so I'm disputing that one.
It was even on Entertainment Tonight back in the day too.
I know, because he did that whole big interview.
He did that big interview on Entertainment Tonight, and everybody and their mother saw that.
I know, because he hasn't been happy. He's been very bitter. He's been very, very bitter about it. And people, even the DJs that were interviewing, you could see they were egging him on. Egging him on to say something. They kept asking him questions to try egg him on.
This is one of my favorite lines. When you think it's 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Hold on, though. I just want to say something. So, Lee, problem being, for all you little haters out there that was saying, Lee got suspended off Twitter and he's not coming back. Well, Lee has his account back, which means he didn't do anything wrong in the first place, like he's all tried to make out. Welcome back, Lee. His original account is back on Twitter. The Batman is back. So well done, mate. Well done. Now you can start using your original account and bring back your religion for Az. Yeah. That's it.
I was wondering why he wasn't talking on there.
So Cheryl's making fun of me. He says, yes, all your credible news should come from YouTube. I literally seen an interview with Crispin Glover in his flesh.
Yeah, it was on Entertainment Tonight back in the day.
It was on Entertainment Tonight back in the day. See, even Jed.
Story about the title.
No, I don't want to hear the story about the title. Of course, I want to hear this. Do you want to hear the story about the title, or should I tell Cheryl to pipe it down? What do you reckon?
Do you guys want to hear it? What Cheryl had to say about the title?
Well done, Lee. Lee, you were never guilty in the first place anyway. It's just sad that Twitter took so long to actually make that decision, because the longer it took, obviously you gave them more ammunition to think that you were taken off for harassment or whatever it was you were taken down for. But you are back. Good to see you back. Now, just do what you've been doing. Ignore those idiots and just get on with it like we've all been doing. We've got better things to be doing anyway than getting involved with little shits like that. You know.
Welcome back, Lee.
And welcome back. Nice to have you back. And it's great to see your name actually up on Twitter now instead of the other account. I've just seen your tweet there that you threw up.
Okay.
This part. Appeal. By the way, he won his appeal. So I just want to make it clear that the allegations that people put out there against him, right, are obviously false, because Twitter agrees with him. That's why he's back. So I want to make that clear. Okay? So welcome back, Lee. We knew you didn't do anything wrong. I know there were people out there saying that you were. We know you weren't, right? We know you're not like that. And you look after yourself and have a Merry Christmas. Right, you've got some trivia first. There's Cheryl. Right, Cheryl wants to give us some trivia, Jed. So let. Right, go on.
Okay, so the head of Universal, Sid Sheinberg, said he didn't want the name of the movie to be Back to the Future because nobody would see a movie if the word future was in the title.
Right.
So he wrote a memo to Robert Zemeckis and said it should be changed to Spaceman from Pluto.
What?
Yeah, he wanted it to be.
That was the name of the book in the movie.
I was like, I'm Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And the only reason he changed his mind was because he got a memo back from Steven Spielberg,
Right.
who said, "Hey, thank you so much for the quote joke memo. We all got a kick out of it. Brilliant. Everyone loved it." And he was too embarrassed to say it wasn't a joke memo.
So he just went with it.
Spielberg basically was like, "That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of," but without burning any bridges, went on to say, "That was hilarious joke memo. Well done." And he didn't want to have egg on his face. So.
Well, in fairness, right? In fairness, right? So what was the name you wanted to change it to? Right. So if right, hold on though. If back in the day Steven Spielberg released this movie and had it called it Spaceman from Pluto, would you have went to watch? Because then it would have been Spaceman from Pluto Part 2, Spaceman from Pluto Part 3.
I know, right?
Yeah. Would you?
It would have been weird.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that studio executives don't get either. A name of a movie, right, is actually very important as well. It's part of the full package. If you don't get the name right, if you had to call the Spaceman from Pluto, I'm telling you now, nobody would have queued up outside the cinemas to watch this. The fact that you got Back to the Future, yes. Yeah, people will be intrigued. It's like Flight of the Navigator. If they had to change that to Flight of the Young Boy David or something, right? That wouldn't be great. Or instead of calling the never-ending story, calling it the white flying dog in the clouds or some mad shit like that.
Dog Dragon.
Or Dog Dragon. Nobody'd watch that shit, right? You know what I mean? It's names are very important. Names are very important. So back to listen. Spielberg, you're right, Sharon. That's the perfect way to kind of not burn bridges, and it's the proper way. Thanks for the joke memo, because you would be embarrassed. I mean, imagine, if they had a call, never watched it, lads. Seriously, if I'd seen a DVD, Spaceman from Pluto, I would think it was some sort of B horror movie, and I'd be like, no.
It sounds like something Roger Corman would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And Leah, I don't think it's on YouTube because it's super, super old. Like 80s old. Late 80s.
I think you will get it. That's where I watched it originally. Now, that was last year.
you've got to remember YouTube, Google, right? Another thing I have to tell you is actually as well, right? Have you noticed the little blackouts that have been happening lately, which is our internet? Notice the way your Google's been acting weird, your Facebook's been acting weird, your Twitter's been acting weird, and YouTube's been acting weird. Well, you see, these blackouts are not happening for nothing. What's happening is they're installing algorithms, they're installing new code, right? So this is where they're getting all of this little stuff that's happening, because the sensors are out there now. They're basically doing the job. This is the future now. So there's already been a couple of streams, and I've read. So someone was talking about Donald Trump, right? And you were talking about the election fraud, right? Now, YouTube took down the video, right? But they didn't take it down because these guys were talking about Donald Trump and election fraud. They took it down because they accused the channel of putting out false information about the pandemic. Right? Now, your man writes back to Team YouTube and basically says, listen, check the video. We were talking about Donald Trump, but you're saying it was taken down because we were given misinformation about the virus, but we never spoke about the virus. We spoke about the president, right? And YouTube come back at with the usual thing with Team YouTube. Well, if we've made a mistake, follow these procedures below. They don't give them. Look, you have to be very careful what you talk about on your channels now. And I know there's a few people that I follow that like to talk about these things and like to go into details. And some will actually say that, that they think this whole pandemic thing is a fraud, a hoax. Those channels are in danger now of being taken down. So you have to be careful what you talk about now. But that's what I'm saying. All these little glitches, all your internet just suddenly gone, that's them. That's them. And Cheryl calls me a conspiracy theorist, right? Because I do like me conspiracies, and I won't lie, I do. But I do believe that there is, when it comes to information, especially on the web, I do think we're being censored now. I do think that there's a deliberate attempt to stop certain people's voices out there from being heard. And that's not a society that I want to live in, or a world that I live in. Listen, if there's crackpots out there that say that the world is flat, right, we might laugh at them, right? We don't know for certain anyway, right? And this is not me picking up for a flat earther, right? All I'll say is the only proof that we know of the world being a globe is the fact that NASA tell us. But can you truly tell us that you believe everything that NASA tells you? That's the thing. Yeah, it's okay to question all of these things, right? It doesn't mean because you put up a video and say the world is flat that you're putting out misinformation. That's someone's theory, and they have a right to have that opinion, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Censorship should only come into a account when there's hate speech going on, or there's any of that sort of nonsense going on. Right? It shouldn't be for someone that has a fucking conspiracy theory about dragons living on the moon, or the world being fucking flat, or whatever it is, or we're living in a parallel universe, or the Mandela effect has screwed everything up. People are entitled to those opinions. And I do like Flight of the Navigator as well. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Max.
I think they're going to remake that at some point.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for ages. First it was supposed to be a movie. Then it was supposed to be a TV show. Ballstrek just sent me a message and says, I'm in hell. And then he wrote, I hate people.
And then they say, here it is. Space zombies from Pluto.
Yeah. I do love this saying now. This was Mr. Peabody. But again, Jed is right. I mean, you hear the conversation that Doc has with Marty before he gets into the DeLorean, and he talks about Mr. Peabody, and he had this mad idea to grow some pines, and then all of a sudden, what happens? He crashes into the barn, and he happens to be on. This was all Peabody's land, and then you see Peabody's land. And I do think this is brilliant when he steps out of the car. They think it's an alien.
And well, from that moment that Marty came, he actually changed history.
Yeah.
Like everything got changed because he went back. People are like, oh no, it wasn't until he met his dad. No, he changed history the moment he came there and stepped out of the barn. So everything got switched around. And a lot of people are like, it wasn't until he met his mother or his dad.
You're absolutely spot on. Because if you're an eagle-eyed fan like me, you will see that at the start of the movie when Marty comes on his skateboard, it's called Twin Point Mall, right? After this incident, when he gets into the DeLorean and he drives off, he crashes into one of the points. Then when he goes back, it's not called Twin Pines Mall, by the way, when he goes back to Hill Valley, because he's made little subtle changes, right?
Yeah.
Wait till you see the name of the mall when he goes back, when he saves everything and goes back, right? Watch what happens. Now, he's run over the point already, right? So when he goes back after saving the past, saving his family, and he goes back, right? Wait till you see the name of the mall. It's not called Twin Pines Mall anymore. See, he makes little subtle changes, but not big enough changes.
If with that part right there, he even made a subtle change, and a lot of people don't get this. She called him Wilbur. Well, that shows up later on in the movie when they start talking about something, and then he goes back, to our time, to the future, and you find out that this is what people didn't get, that he made little tiny changes all over the place.
Yeah, he did.
And that's why I was like, that's kind of cool because, No,
well, he did straight away.
There's Hill Valley, but watch. So, and I love this part right here. Well, I love this part. You get to see this part in Back to the Future 1, and then you see it in 2. So, you get to see it in the 50s, and then you see it in Back to the Future 2 and Future. So, yeah, butterfly effect, basically, yeah, what Disaster said.
Sure, look at the way Biff changes and stuff.
Oh, yeah, when he goes in 2, he's bitter because of what happened to him because of Marty's dad, so he goes back in time, changes it, so that alternate history of Hill Valley comes up, and he's just, and then Biff's his dad and all this other shit, so.
This is one of my favorite scenes, actually.
I've
Sandman playing in the background, and I love that type of music. And then the music changes then because he's starting to realize, well, where the fuck am I?
I actually got to walk around this set. Sometimes they wouldn't let people walk around, but I knew a few people at Universal, and I actually got to walk around and take some pictures and stuff. Usually they just let you go on the ride, but I knew somebody there at Universal, and I said I was a really big fan of Back to the Future, so they let me go there and take some pictures and stuff. And everything here except for the parts where they had to go, these were just all fake fronts right here.
Yeah.
They were all fake fronts except for the places he actually goes into. Like the diner wasn't fake because diner is one of the places he goes into.
I love the fact that the clock tower, though, plays a huge part in these movies.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I love that as well. But even in the game, the clock tower, I'll say nothing if you haven't played the game. You should really play the game, folks, if you want part 4 of this movie. And it does. Part 4 is brilliant. It involves a couple of the kids, which is great. The kids. So if you're wondering what kids, watch the trilogy and then you'll know what I'm talking about.
Here's the part. Well, okay, and a lot of people, if there's some younger folks in the audience here, when he goes up to the counter and goes, "Can I have a tab?" and he goes, "What's a tab?" Tab was the soft drink in the 80s that's not around no more. It was kind of, I didn't like it. I never liked Tab. I was like, ugh. I had it a few times, but he's like, "Can I have a tab?" And he's like, "Sure." Well, tab back then meant I can't give you a tab unless you order something, you know.
Yeah.
And in Pepsi Free was actually, they were back in the 80s. They had this. Let's put Pepsi without sugar. It was terrible.
Well, no, yeah, but here's the thing that people don't realize. Yeah, they did that back in the 80s, but now you have Coke Zero. You have
I know.
Zero, which is basically Pepsi free and Coke free. It's basically
Yeah.
the same thing that they were selling.
It's still bad. And like, I remember when Back to the Future came out, they brought Cherry Coke out because Back to the Future came out.
Yeah, I love cherry cola as well. Zero, but I do like the Coke Zero. I'm sorry, I have to defend it. I actually. I don't. I know you don't like it. I know everybody prefers the regular taste, and don't get me wrong, I do love our classic Coca-Cola and classic Pepsi. I always will. But I have to be honest, I love Pepsi Max and I love Pepsi Free or Pepsi Zero and Coke Zero. I think that, listen, look, we're much more sugar aware now than we were back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, we didn't give a shit. And when they tried things with their sugar free, everybody was saying, "No, give me sugar." But now we're all different now. I like the choice. You know, if you want your regular Coke, they haven't got rid of regular Coke. You still have your Coke.
I gotta say something about this part right here with his vest. Back then they didn't have, the only kind of vest that looked like that back then in the 50s were life vests that you actually had to like save yourself.
Yeah,
there wasn't outfits like that in the 50s. So that's the reason why they said, "What do you go to life vest for, kid?" You know. And then here we go again, where Marty changes history with Goldie, and then he goes, "Maybe you're gonna be mayor," and then boom, right there, mayor.
No, I don't think he changes it as such, because he does become mayor, because he wouldn't know that unless he did. I think what happened is Marty doesn't realize that he was the catalyst. He was the one, because he went back through time. So you are right. He does change the world. This is where we see him change in time. But in fact, it's already happened, if you know what I mean. But it's because of him going back in the first place.
Okay, so what happened, and they do this on Star Trek and Doctor Who and stuff, where things already happen, and then you go back in time, and you were actually the catalyst for everything that happened, because it hadn't happened yet, or in your point, but it already happened.
Yeah,
you know.
So they're showing us how it happened, how he became mayor, and there you go. Now he's after giving them the idea now, and he's
and here's this part right here. It wasn't he wanted to go with Rain. She fell for him. You know, his mom fell for him. It wasn't, So, and then they do that running joke throughout all three movies too. He's like, "Be safe. You're in good old 1950 and the 2020, or like, save in 1895, or Yeah.
Oh, this is where he finds out his dad is a peeping Tom. So again, he changes history here because his dad should have got a smack of the car.
But... Yeah, and the reason why, and then he set up a chain of events right here. Like, and if you go back, his mother, okay, this part right here when she goes, "Well, what's Calvin Klein? Isn't that your name?" Well, if you go and look in some of the backstory, his mother was in fashion and she helped bring about Calvin Klein. Yeah. So he changed He changed a ton of shit. Like, you're my mother. You're so young. 10. So instead of his mother falling for his father, she fell for him. The Florence Nightingale effect, you know? That is true, Charlotte. We can all have a happy Christmas. Even if, things are bad and stuff, we can, still have a happy Christmas. I'll try to, at least, Calvin. I mean, Marty. And welcome to everybody that just came in. We're watching Back to the Future, the first one. Lorraine. Oh my God, it's my mother. And in here, no, right here, this part right here, there's even more lore right here.
Yeah.
When he goes, "Hey kid, you better get used to being in those bars."
Yeah.
Hey, lovesick llama, welcome. And the funny thing is, he has stripes on there too. They did that on purpose. Like, he's in a pen and he has stripes on because everybody was like trying to get the joke. Oh, Fresca. Ugh. Can't stand that. And here's where he screwed up too again, because hey, I watched this on a rerun, and he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm in the 50s.
Yeah, he also drops the little spoiler that there's going to be a president called JFK as well.
Yeah. That didn't cause as much of a time quake as like some other stuff he did,
True.
It's brand new. Mm-hmm. We'll find out. Merry Christmas. You can't, because she's kind of like nobody's there, but I'm kind of like sitting right next to her, so yeah, that would be kind of difficult. Oh, this is where he screws up. John F. Kennedy Drive, and he's like, "Who the hell's John F. Kennedy?" Because they didn't name that until, and if you go on the lore of Back to the Future, they didn't name that until after John F. Kennedy died in his town. So his parents are probably idiots too. I love that little joke right there. I always love this part when he goes to meet Doc for the first time. And he goes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's saying that's one of my favorites actually. He sticks the thing on his head, tries to read his mind.
he's like, oh, it's just another one of your failed inventions, Doc.
But the thing about it is, you can clearly see that the reason how he's trying to figure things out is by reading a man's Marty's body language and seeing what he's wearing, because then he tries to say he's from the Navy's as some Navy association or something.
And then there's a baby Einstein too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, he had several different Einsteins over the years. So here's the thing, there wasn't just one Einie, because this was the 50s all the way up to the 80s. And every single dog the Doc had, he named him Einie.
No, Copernicus was another name.
I forgot about that one. There's Copernicus.
Yeah, Copernicus.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Daniel. Are you leaving?
No, I think Daniel's only got here. Has he?
Okay.
Oh, has he? He wasn't there earlier. Hey, Daniel, I said hello to you earlier when you weren't here.
Merry Christmas, brother.
We're
watching Back to the Future if you want to watch it with us. Then you want me to get the timestamp for you, Daniel? If you want to watch it.
I'm trying.
Disney could still had its reach back in Back to the Future back then. Well, yeah. Okay. See, the thing is, there was a bunch of random people that were in different TV shows. Okay. The girl that plays Marty's sister, she was in Bosom Buddies. She was one of their friends that was in the thing with Tom Hanks and them in Bosom Buddies. I know a lot of people don't remember that show, but that was like one of the things that got Tom Hanks really famous. So, was Bosom Buddies back in the day. He had to pretend he was a woman to live in an apartment because they got kicked out because they couldn't find it. It was funny back in the day, and she was one of the people that knew that he was a guy. So, but there's a ton of people in this movie that were character actors. Even his family, when you see Lorraine and stuff for the first time, here in the 50s, their family, those all character actors. The flex capacitor right there. And then Marty's like, yeah, you told me all about this. I have a friend that is out here in Arizona that actually bought a DeLorean and put all the the flex capacitor and everything else in it and all. He got the blueprints and everything else. Yeah, she was in Howard Duck too. Leah Thompson. She Ducky, But
what was I gonna say? I was gonna make a point there and then I just lost it. It might come back to me.
Okay. What is this thing I'm wearing? It's a radiation suit. But yeah, what I was talking about, one of my friends, it all lights up and it does all the sounds from the movie. From when you turn the flex capacitor, you hear the choo and everything else. And he has the lights and everything. He has the lights on the outside and everything else.
Yeah, as far as I know, I if I'm correct, the original one, the one that they used for the movie, or they had a couple of them that they used for the movie.
Yeah.
But there's one that's still in working order here in Ireland, and when they do the classic car shows, this DeLorean is always there. Actually, I used to drive by where my mum and dad live all the time. You'd see the car all of the bloody time.
Well, for in 2 and 3, there was numerous because they had to do it out here. They did some of that. They did 3 was mostly made out here in Arizona and California.
Yeah.
Mostly Arizona, but they did do some lot work over in California. But it's fine. Your spelling's good. But yeah, when they did 3, there were several different. I even got to ride in a version of the DeLorean from 3. So out here, because they filmed it out here, and I knew somebody that worked on the movie back then, so I got to ride in it was a working DeLorean. One of the ones you see in the 3. It was one of the ones they had in the movie with the circuit board on the hood and everything. So.
But again, it's lucky that he took the poster off your woman.
Yeah.
And saved the clock tower. I mean, that's where it's that, because that's what I mean. It's very clever the way they put this together. If you went up and hassled them to save the clock tower, you never would have got that poster. He never would have known when the lightning was actually going to strike, and then there would have been no possibility of him getting home. It's so simple, but yet to execute it and to do it the way they did it, I mean, they got it spot on with this movie. The first movie is perfect, in my opinion. Second movie, it kind of goes a little bit, but it's still a solid movie. But the third movie then finishes it up nice. But this first movie sets it all up lovely for the trilogy.
Oh, it does. And then there's the picture of him, his brother, and stuff.
Yeah, we'll obviously, if people watch this, is there anybody in the chat that hasn't seen Back to the Future or hasn't seen the whole trilogy? Let us know.
Let me show that. I don't know why they did that for, but chat caught that. Oh, it had the word porn in it. Okay. I was like, why did the bot catch that? Okay. You're good. Very funny, guys. Be richer. Oh, I love Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is one of my favorite movies, too. Jesus. And then they do the joke even in 3 when it's one of his ancestors, and his ancestor didn't even have hair. And I love that, where they take the jokes from the first movie, it goes on to the second movie, and then they go into the third movie too.
Yeah,
it's they keep the running jokes throughout the whole trilogy. You've not seen bits of the movies, Charlotte? Oh yeah, I don't know how many times I went to the movie theater to see the original one, but I went to see Back to the Future so much that the guy that ran the movie theater started to let me see in the movies for free because I spent so much money at the movie theater.
Yeah, so, I've watched these movies, the trilogy, hundreds of times now at this stage. Hundreds. Yeah. I mean, literally hundreds of times. It's my favorite. One of my favorite trilogies, I have to say. But
oh, you haven't, Charlotte? Okay, I didn't know that. So you just seen bits and pieces of the movie?
Well, Cheryl hasn't seen them either. So apparently there are people out there that haven't seen them.
That's weird for me.
Oh, apparently Dave Fox's kids haven't watched it either,
Yeah.
which is a bit weird. Why
Yeah.
will he not let these kids watch it?
No, I guess they're just like it.
All right.
You know, it's their dad.
It doesn't matter. You'd still want to see your dad in one of the greatest movie franchises of all time.
Watch it now out of spite, I think, because I've gone this long.
Well, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah, blacklist movie you won't watch with me. So.
Yeah, well, the movies you pick are girly crap. Grease 2. Don't like Grease 2. You're not gonna
Grease, if you're gonna watch Grease, at least watch the first Grease, not Grease
No,
2.
She does like the first Grease, but she just prefers the second one.
First Grease.
She
2
just,
is terrible.
I know 2 was terrible, but she grew up during that time.
Oh, 2 is terrible. No,
So,
first Grease is awesome.
I know, but you have to forgive her, you know.
I still have my copies of Back to the Future on VHS and DVD too. I just wasn't gonna pull them out when I can get it on Netflix here. Oh, hey, here's another part. This part right here, where Marty's talking to his dad, and his dad has all these notes. He actually pushed him. This is the reason why the future changed, because before he didn't have Marty to talk to reassure him. They're like, yeah, your stuff's good.
Yeah, exactly. You know? No, you're right.
He didn't have that push, and that's the reason why when he goes, forward, Yeah, Nicholas. Fortunately, I got to see the set before it burned down, and I got pictures and stuff from it. So I got to go in there in the 90s because I knew somebody. So it was a long time ago. Second Grease was crap. I was just like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, well, it's not Cheryl's fault that she has bad taste in movies.
What?
Ow! She just pinched me there. She just pinched me because she had bad taste because she likes Grease too. Next, she'd be telling me she loves cats.
I'd love to use
Which version? The Broadway or the movie?
Yeah, she likes the Broadway version.
Okay, the Broadway is good. Just don't go into that strange ass movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that movie.
Yeah, I have to admit, when she did see the trailer for it, she was she said, "What the holy hell crap is that?" So we got another super chat here by Nicholas Horton. He says the old West Hill Valley set from Back to the Future 3 burnt down years ago. Only bits and pieces remain. It's a shame, really. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, it's an iconic piece of history. It's an iconic piece of pop culture. This movie, this trilogy. It's loved by everybody that's watched it, and even people that have never seen it before end up watching it, end up becoming fans of these movies because they're just great. They're great. They are. I mean, I love the little in part 2. I love the fact that they have the little gag about Jaws 23 or whatever it is. Like they're still going.
Oh, I know. And then what was it? And was it Rocky something too?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I like the way that even the directors themselves and producers took the piss out of their own movies in the movie.
This part right here cracked me the hell up, where he goes in with the radiation suit and does Van Halen and talks to his dad.
Yeah, because he wants to go science fiction theater instead. I'm from the planet Vulcan. I'm dark.
Oh, and Chris, that is true. Because if you, like you said, if you go by Doc Brown's logic and Back to the Future 2, when he went back, he went backwards, but he changed stuff so much. He, like how in Back to the Future 2, where they had that alternate bad Biff timeline, but in 1, he created an alternate one,
that's what
but he made it better.
That's what I mean. He made changes, so he never went back to his original timeline.
No,
Because
he
if you went
didn't.
back to his original timeline, his dad still would have been a push around for Biff. His mother would have been an alcoholic still.
Yeah.
And he would have been a failure. But
Mhm.
he changed all of that. So he did. He made changes. He never went back to his original timeline. But I don't know. Everybody loved the fact that there were subtle changes, but there were changes that, in everybody's opinion, that were the right changes that happened. Because the family was that even back in the day down in its luck. And to see that they actually, the son made it better for them. But I mean, as well, the father kind of changed. George kind of changed his own destiny, because if you think about when he knocks Biff out, Marty was the one that was supposed to do that. But because Marty was stuck, and couldn't get there, George ended up having to step up and be the man that he never thought he could be and get that.
But right there, he set the timeline right, though, because George was supposed to do it. George was supposed to end up with his mom anyway. So
yeah, but not like that, because she tells the story. She said that she felt sorry for him, and that's why she went into it, because he got hit by the car. So if Marty hadn't changed that event, so it would never have happened if he hadn't struck Biff, because Marty had already changed the future by interfering with that, by getting hit with the car instead. So for George to kind of get his timeline back, to get it the way it was, well, not the way it was, because it was always going to change, he had to defend himself. And that's exactly what he did. So he got that new set of confidence. The fact that Marty did have that little chat about his science fiction stories as well. And when he goes back, that's why his dad's is a successful writer. That's why his dad's more confident. His mother's not an alcoholic. They live in the same house, but it's done up. It's a nicer house. You know what I mean? So there's loads of things. This is why I love these movies, because even years later, you're still figuring out stuff, and that's what I love. This is why these movies are so iconic, because there's just so much in it. There's so much going on. Even the dumbest person, would see that there's other stuff. I mean, this scene in the cat, this is brilliant.
Oh, I know. And then in 2, they go full on in 2.
Well, I would have done this if I hadn't have been for Marty, but you can see this is great character development, because George's character, even though this goes haywire because of Biff, you can see that his confidence is starting to grow now. So when he does then punch Biff at the car, you believe it, because you're seeing that character development.
And right here, Marty makes the first skateboard, so he changes history again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
they're like, what is he doing? What? He, without thinking, invented the skateboard in the 1950s, and then if you go back into lore, somebody was watching Marty when he was on that, and he saw that it was roller skates and stuff, and so this guy saw Marty do this, and then he, accidentally changed the timeline on this. He's like, it's a board with wheels, just like a dream. So yeah, and if you go and read the book, it tells a little bit more about how things went down into they're saying, oh, there's this guy in the background and stuff, that saw this, and but I love how they did this one, but then you go to 2 and they upped it,
Yeah, with the hovercrafts,
yeah.
Hoverboards. Deadly.
And okay, here, the guys that are in the car with him, I think all the guys came back except for one of them that are in the car with him, with Biff right here.
Yeah. Yeah, they replaced, in the third one, in the second one, they replaced one of them with a girl.
Yeah, because one of them couldn't come back, so they're like, okay, how are we going to do this? So they just brought in a girl. So.
Yeah, but back then, again, we got to remember, no agenda back then.
So there was no agenda. They were just like, hey, let's just put a girl in here. We're not doing it.
It was a future. It was the future as well. So it's a pity again. Spielberg and co. You kind of nearly got it right. Women were going to be there are stronger women now in 2020 than there ever was, but you've also got your idiot radical feminists. So so yeah, he's kind of got a half right, except
So if I remember right, when he the scooter and stuff, the one that he gave the kid, he goes, "Thanks, kid. Thanks for your board." I think if I remember right, if I read this right in the book or something, that kid he gave the skateboard to invented the skateboard. He took Marty's idea and that's how the skateboard came about. So once again,
that's very clever. I like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Very clever.
Yeah. So
And the manure thing is a running joke as well.
Yeah.
Actually, in the trilogy as well. Yeah, Doctor Who Christmas well, it's the festive special. It's not on Christmas.
well, it's on New Year's. It's on New Year's.
Yeah, they're offering it in 4K HDR.
Oh, I don't want to see
uh,
Jodie in 4K, man. Like, come on.
Nobody gives a crap either. And apparently Revolution will be available as well for you guys. That anybody that wants to snap it up in January next year. So they're rushing it out. Obviously on DVD. It'd be interesting to see if it sells. I doubt it very much. We'll have to see how bad or good it actually is. But I will say one thing, just because I don't want to get into it because we're watching Back to the Future. But all I'll say, looking at all the social media sites in the media lately, it's very disturbing that BBC are still ignoring the fans. So that's all I'll say.
I will say one thing. I wish BBC would have a come to Jesus moment like Star Wars did, sort of.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because we're still in Back to the Future,
Yeah, well, they never will, but you're right.
I know.
It would be nice, but I agree with you.
Well, they don't have somebody like,
I love this scene where he goes, I know it's not the scale. I always love that because he did the same joke then in part 3 where he shot him how they're gonna, and he's
then Marty goes, yeah, I know it's not the scale.
It's funny, man. It's funny.
Yeah. Retro, why did you get banned? Why did you get timed out for that? He put manure in YouTube said manure was a bad word. I fixed it. That's weird.
Actually, I was going to use that for me hashtag for Back to the Future too. Because the hashtag for this one is obviously hashtag Marty be good.
You need to on the second one, dear roads. That's my favorite line in the second one. Yeah. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, remember, if you want to be part, I'm trying to bring on people like Jed that haven't been on that much and not get an opportunity to talk that often. So if you'd like to be considered, and I say considered because I'll get a lot of people obviously asking. I'm not having big panels. As I said, Jed was the only one that came on tonight. Ballstrek will be back, but that's the size of the panels I want them to be, around 2 or 3 people. So if you're interested and haven't been on that much, or you have been on and you don't really get an opportunity to talk that often, if you'd like to be considered for the second part, please let me know in the comment section when this stays up tonight, or contact me on Twitter or on Messenger.
Messenger.
And let me know if you'd like to be part of it. Obviously, I want to bring different guests on for each one. So if you want to be part of it and considered, please let me know. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to make that announcement. So you know now, you have a week to decide if you want to come on or not. So you have a week's notice now. So I don't want someone coming to me next Wednesday and say, oh, well, can I join now after I've already brought people on? If you really want to join, leave your name, throw your name in the hat like Jed did yesterday. So you've got a week.
Well, I did it 2 days ago. The minute I saw the trailer, remember?
Yeah. So
I was like, I jumped on that immediately.
yeah. So if you want to be part of it, remember in the comment section after this stream goes up, you can contact me on Twitter or Messenger.
Well, if you don't get anybody else, I'll come for 2 because I love 2 too. So, I mean, I love all 3 of them. So, but if you don't get anybody else, I'll be here for that.
I know. I'm just trying to give everybody.
Yeah,
a
I
chance,
know.
because you know yourself, we do loads of panels already, but there's
Yeah, I
a few
know.
people that come on constantly.
I do love to see others on here, but I was. How long did I talk in your chat for? Like months before I actually. The day that all hell broke loose with Doctor Who, I was like, I'm breaking my silence. I was just like, no, I'm done. You're like, anybody who wants to come on right now, come on. I was like, okay. And I'd been saying for months I was going to come on, but I just didn't. I was just like, ugh, no. I hate my own voice, but but I'm like, yeah, whatever.
No, just let you know, not about Ballstrack is out. He's been sending me little messages. So he turned around and says, people suck. This place is filled with nothing but morons. Toys R Us, your Christmas hell. And then he wrote, just saw a meth head pissing into a garbage can outside of Best Buy.
Are you serious? God.
Poor Ballstrack. He's only gone out to get some presents, and the poor bloody man is bleeding and subjected to.
Well, it's Canada. It shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But, desperate times, mate. A lot of people are struggling right now.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately. So, you're going to see a lot more of that. Unfortunately, it does pour out onto the streets a lot more.
Well, Charlotte, I was in chat for a good amount of time. I was even on in Lethal's chat a good amount of time before, I took part in stuff.
Yeah.
I watched Gary and Friday Night Tights for a long time before I even said anything. So, and then I started jumping in on things, but then recently I've had Christmas, and then we're gonna still be moving about a month or 2 down the line. We're just getting everything ready.
Yeah.
And that's,
Chris has put the link to my Twitter account in the chat.
Yeah.
If you want to leave me a message, if you want to come on for part 2 of Back to the Future. I will try the trailer up later on, hopefully.
Here's this point. No, what I gotta say this. He's like, don't open until 1985. With the letter and stuff. So.
Yeah, Annie and Doc cheated because he did read.
Yeah, but he
did read the letter, because when he gets shot, everybody thinks he's dead at the start of the movie, but obviously then we see that he wasn't, and the only reason why he didn't is because Marty said
he opened up the letter and read it on purpose. Now, a lot of people don't get this, but Maroon Berry, this was his cousin, and Chuck Berry wasn't that famous. He wasn't even famous yet. His cousin was the one that, got him into it. And then, Marty changed the fate of so many people. It's unreal, And then we're at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance now. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Maybe I'll just watch it on the stream. I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna day of. Maybe, I don't know. What is it? No, is the new Doctor Who gonna be on New Year's Day, or is it Christmas?
It's New Year's Day, mate. New Year's Day.
Okay. Are we gonna watch it? Are we gonna watch it on the stream here, or are we gonna have a watch party or some shit here?
Well, it starts. See, that's the thing. I don't know whether to watch it after the fact, get it downloaded, and actually do a live watch along like we normally do.
Well, we can. Well, here's what I
watch it live, but it's awkward that way, because then you know, as I said, I don't have earphone connection now on the telly that I'm using now. So if I was to watch it, I'd have to stay muted the whole time. So we're doing it on the day anyway. That's definitely
Okay.
happening. Whether it's gonna happen Jordan while it's playing live or after the fact. See, what I did last year was I watched it while it was playing live, but then I'm on my stream and then reviewed it. But if we're going to be doing a live watch along, then it means I'll have to watch it twice, which I'm willing to do because just in case I miss out the first time.
Yeah.
So that's what I might do. I might do it after the fact. And I'm pretty sure it'll be a big panel anyway. We had a big.
Oh, you know I'm gonna be there.
So
Yeah.
we will have loads of people on. Last panel we had some big YouTubers on as well. So we will be going all out for this one. And then a couple of days after the dust has settled, then I'll have my own separate review then of it. So I'll have the panel, then my own separate review. And then when Series 13 comes back, that's exactly what I'll be doing for Series 13 as well. I'll be having panels on. I won't be saying much during the panels because I'll have my own personal review then after it. So that's what I'm going to be doing next year. Now, again, it's not going to be the same panels that we've had on all the time. As I said, there's going to be changes made now next year. What's going to happen is if you want to be part of it, I will, as I said, I will leave messages out there for everybody. Whoever wants to come on, then we'll see how many names we actually get. And then what I'll do is I'll choose from those people that want to come on. That's how I'm going to do it from now on. I think it's fairer that way because then it gives people an opportunity that don't normally get to come on a chance to come on. Because I want to mix it up for next year. And also, as I said, there will be a change to the classic and new Who watch along. I will have them on the same day. I'm just gonna figure out what day is better for everybody, and we'll have different panels for that as well. We won't have the same panels that we've been having all the time. Some of the guests that have been part of the panels will be back. But what I'm saying is, I'll just be mixing it up a little bit more than normal.
Oh, it's good to mix things up. So it doesn't get stale.
Like Charlotte and Daniel will still feature, obviously. Just
you know what? No, you should try to get Gary on that day too. But we know Gary's busy a lot. So
well, I've had Gary on the channel a couple of times. Gary has spoke about Doctor Who on this channel before.
Oh, I know, but try to get him for the watch along.
I'm pretty sure he did say before or after this watch along actually happen after the series, after the special drops, he was thinking of doing another stream anyway. So right here, listen, I've got a little surprise for you all.
Yeah,
watch this. Probably he'll have a lot to say. Here we go. It's the one and only Paul Check. Trigger Train. Hello, are you live? You survived, you did. How's the
Fuck! You here, brother?
I fucking hate
how was hell?
well, I never made it to Walmart.
All right.
So we got this big box complex, which is like its own little town. So that's where we got like Best Buy, fucking Costco, Home Depot, the Chapters, the bookstore. So I did finally make it in there. Only got into one yelling match in the parking lot trying to get in, so that was fun. That's a normal day for me. So went to the bookstore first. Managed to get in. Walk in the door, and then this hyperactive young guy. Hi, are you here to pick something up? No.
One of those, huh?
So I went there, got my presents, and I'm like at the top, a few streets over is the Toys R Us fucking people. Fucking kids screaming, fucking puking, and Jesus Christ. So that was hell. But I did get my nephews their presents, so they're getting Lego things. Can't fucking believe how much Legos cost now. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Legos are astronomical expensive now.
I'm like, the markup is nuts. So then I'm like, oh, I'll go to Best Buy, see if I can find something else. And then the lineup getting into Best Buy was like halfway down the parking lot, so like screw that. But as I'm walking by, this is typical of my town. There's a meth head peeing in the garbage can, so that was fun. Noel said I should have wished him Merry Christmas, but I didn't. So then I finally got out of that hellscape. And then I'm going to go to Walmart, which is at the mall just down the road. So get on the road. 3 intersections down, literally traffic is stopped. It's all people trying to get into the fucking mall. And I said, no way in hell I'm going to shoot somebody. So I went home.
Oh, shit. Donald Trump has just had to drop in a tweet. Apparently, their embassy in Baghdad got hit by several rockets. Three rockets failed to launch. Guess where they were from? Iran. Now we hear chatter of additional attacks against Americans in Iraq. Some friendly held the voice to Iran. If one American is killed, I will hold Iran responsible. Think it over. Holy shit.
And I just pulled up CNN.com. I don't see any mention of it. It's all about Trump.
Yeah, because CNN doesn't want to tell the truth.
See, I'm sure.
We won't get into that, but I'm just letting you know there that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has basically warned Iran that if they fire another rocket and if an American is killed, he's going to hold them responsible. Holy shit, man. That is some rhetoric.
Okay, I just saw the tweet right now. Oh, shit. How's the movie?
Oh, we're at the part where Marty's about to fade out.
His mother, and she then says, "Oh, it's like kissing your little brother or something, or cousin, or whatever it was."
What's the timestamp?
Shit, we're almost at the end.
Oh, it's okay.
Let me see.
I'll join the end.
We're at the scene where.
Oh no, what's the time on Netflix?
Here.
Let's do 120 something.
We're at the part where Marty's about to fade out and he's playing the guitar, and George he won't go back to see her.
Guys, I'm not watching it on Netflix. Could someone give Ballstrack an actual timestamp, please?
Okay, just a second. 1:25:40.
Let's see, 1:25:40. 1:25:29. Oh, there we go. I'm watching it through a VPN because apparently we don't have Back to the Future on Netflix Canada.
Yeah, I also told several people to use a VPN to do that too. So
I'm using Silicon Valley. It's all pixelated. So I'm in Woketown today. Oh yeah, I should probably unmute this. Leah Thompson is hot.
She was, dude. You know how hot she was in Howard the Duck.
I was about to say that. That fucking scene. Oh, young Bullstruck loved that scene. Maybe that's why I like that movie so much.
Oh, Ducky. I love that.
Yeah,
movie,
well, it's hot and it's fucked up at the same time because she's gonna fuck a duck.
Yeah. Dirty.
Although I did not get the creepiness at 8 years old or whenever I was, and when I saw it.
I thought it was pretty cool because I was like, what year did that come out? 80?
1986.
86. So I was like, I wasn't even 10 when it was
it was the first movie that Leah Thompson did after Back to the Future.
Yeah, I was 11 at that time. So
you're older than me. I'm a youngin'.
Yeah.
I was 8.
I love Howard the Duck. I was like, this movie's awesome.
Thank you.
And everybody's
somebody other than me that loves that movie. I have owned it on VHS. I've had it on DVD. I had it on Blu-ray. And now I'm waiting for a 4K release.
Oh, I have it. I still have my original VHS copy. I have my DVD copy. I don't have a 4K yet, so a Blu-ray.
No, it's not. Yeah, well, Blu-ray's been out for a couple of years, but when I was a kid, 8 years old, every weekend I'd watch Howard the Duck for like 6 months.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know people hated it until like 20 years later.
Yeah, it's really hated. Yeah.
That's like some people hate Flash Gordon. I was like, how can you hate Flash Gordon? It's Queen.
No, well, I mean the difference between Flash Gordon and Howard the Duck is Flash Gordon's a kind of a cult movie. Howard the Duck, let's be honest, come on. It's if you look back and watch it now, it's not a great movie, and it's a bit.
I like it.
It's a bit weird, man. I don't know.
I love Howard the Duck, man. Like, damn.
Would just like to see a remake.
No, fuck no.
No, they're gonna screw it up. They're gonna screw it up.
I'd ask, relax, guys. Right, we know how you feel.
Honestly, dude, it is one of my favorite comic book movies.
All right, I didn't.
And I don't see it as cheesy. I like the Dark Overlord of the Universe scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Oh yeah, and here's where Chuck Berry steals things from Marty McFly, who stole it from Chuck Berry.
We were talking about all of the little things in this movie while we were.
And actually, I believe the guitar, the finger tapping. I'm pretty sure that's done by Eddie Van Halen in the soundtrack.
Yeah, because Eddie did a lot of work on this movie.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Like that's Eddie Van Halen right there. It's I believe Michael J. Fox can actually play guitar, but not like that.
Yeah. And he's like, what is he doing? He's like, you guys may not like it, but your kids are gonna love it.
Well, here's the funny thing. When this movie came out, 1955 was only 30 years old. Now, let's say to us in 2020, this would be like a movie taking place in 1990. Who feels old?
Yeah. Oh, I feel old. I'll be right back. I gotta go take Puppy out.
Strickland. And now those kids are grandparents. And the people that would have been that age in the 50s would be in their late 80s now. This is the last time we see the original George McFly because the actor refused to appear in any further movies after this. Which is why we have different George McFly in Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah, we were talking about that as well. Crispin Glover. Yeah. Actually, the conspiracy theories about 9/11 actually came from this trilogy as well. There's a part in there's a scene in Part 2 where George McFly is in his wheelchair, but he's upside down.
Yeah.
Right. If you flip the screen over, right, flip it upside down, your screen over. I know but if you did it on a computer, you'd be able to do it better. But watch that scene again and flip the screen upside down. It looks like the Twin Towers are falling.
Oh, crackers.
Yeah. There's actually a great video done by someone. If you're into your conspiracy theories, of course, it still is an interesting watch, though. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. But when you actually see how pop culture,
Well, you see, dude, they're not really conspiracy theories anymore to anybody that does research.
Yeah. But if you check this video out, Baldstrek, seriously, man, right now, it goes into other things as well about JFK's assassination, which is ridiculous. But the
chances are I've probably seen it, but I will have to check it out.
But the 9/11 one is brilliant. There's a whole video on YouTube.
There's so many conspiracy videos about that, but some of them are just like
ridiculous.
There's one based on numbers and all the numbers surrounding 9/11 and how it all adds up, and then it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. It is scary to think that, that this
nothing surprises me anymore, man. Nothing.
But exactly, and to me, there are no coincidences at all. Like there's cartoons. Look at whether you believe it or not, Family Guy, Simpsons have a knack of predicting the future.
Oh, they predicted Trump like 15
Yeah.
years before it
I
happened.
know. Yeah. So
And the season finale, I think it was the year before 9/11. Homer is actually at the Twin Towers.
yeah,
I think it was the year before. It was when I was still watching The Simpsons, and I stopped watching it shortly after 2001.
yeah, it went crap after that, didn't it? That's where
I haven't watched it, and
yeah.
I watched my last
know.
Simpsons episode in 2008 on a regular basis.
Apparently the pill is gone now. I haven't.
Oh yeah, because
of the pill. Yeah, and the actor apologized for playing the pill. Well, if you have to, you're a voice actor, you moron. I'm sick of this crap. But there you go. I wouldn't watch it now. South Park has seemed to survive quite well. I have to be honest. They still do poke fun, but it's not as harsh as it used to be. They've kind of toned it down a little bit because
I don't watch any of that stuff anymore. I just watch my angry YouTube videos and classic horror.
Yeah, you love your classic horror, don't you? But isn't it funny, Ballstrick, that the generation that grew up with South Park, Simpsons, are the generation now that are making had these kids basically?
Oh yeah, it's our generation, Noel. I don't have any kids, so I'm not guilty in this.
I don't have any kids either, so I have nieces and nephews, but I don't have
I have nieces and nephews, and I'm horrified to see what they're learning in school. The youngest is 1 and the oldest is 9.
Yeah, God knows what they're teaching kids now. Do you know what? I'd be
want to know, man.
It's shitless, man.
Considering what Gary's been telling, what they've been teaching his kid, you know.
By the way, did you see that video that's gone around on Twitter? I know it's a bit off topic, but it's truly disgusting. So it's of a duck, and some woman is in front of everybody in the street. She's wearing a big, luminous pink tracksuit. She happens to be African American. She put Lies the duck on its back and starts doing a sexy dance on the duck. And the duck, you can clearly see.
I just saw your. Oh, this is disgusting.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I can't watch it. I'm just turning that off.
Did you guys see the one with
by someone in the street, right? That was filmed by a load of people. She's surrounded by a load of people. Now it's not a dirty video, but it's disgusting that someone is doing that to an animal, right?
Yeah, it is. It's awful, and because of demographic representation, you can't say anything about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Now that's the point I was going to make. Imagine if that had been a white lady or a white bloke doing that.
If it was white people, they would have crucified him.
People would be talking about it. Those people would be cancelled, right? But there's people cheering this woman on. It's truly, absolutely disgusting. I threw it up on Twitter because it needs to be highlighted, and I wrote animal abuse. It's animal abuse. It's absolutely ridiculous what these people. But this is how crazy they are. This is normal behavior to them.
This is the generation we've created, which is actually why I like watching things from the 80s, because 80s and 90s. It's like this is what society was like before it went to hell. Actually, one thing that I noticed over the last few weeks, I watched the Harry Potter movies for the first time. I now only have Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 left. I like it, by the way, but the one thing that struck me is how you could tell that they're from the pre-woke era.
Yeah,
you would see you would see them today.
No,
and it's the series ends, and the last movie was 2011. This woke nightmare started in 2012, so they're completely devoid of it, and that's the main thing that I noticed. That they're actually really good films, so I apologize. I my boycott.
If you actually go, they did leave some things out, but the minor details they had in all the movies were in the book too.
Oh, I've never read the book. Yeah.
So.
Have you ever played the Ballstrick? Have you ever played the Back to the Future game?
Oh God! Are we talking about the NES one?
No. We're talking about We're talking about. Well, there was Back to the Future original game. Then there was 2 and 3, and then we're talking about the one that's what was it?
Telltale.
Telltale made it, and it was like the 30th anniversary edition. but it was
Oh.
basically Back to the Future 4.
Yeah, if someone actually here, not a word of a lie, someone actually took all the cutscenes, right, of that game and put them together. You can actually watch the whole of the cutscenes on YouTube, and they call it Back to the Future 4, and it's the
I have
fourth
to check that
movie in animation. It is brilliant. It actually is for, I'm telling you, I sat there and I watched, I thought this was going to be boring. I said the cutscenes is going to be crap. But the way he put it together, it actually looks like you're watching a full length animated movie. It
Was
is
it a
brilliant.
PC game or multi-platform?
Oh, it's
It
multi-platform.
was multi-platform. Yeah, I think you can get it for PC as well.
I
PC,
might
Xbox, PlayStation, you know,
I
whatever.
might see if I can find it used for the Xbox and check it out.
Yeah,
No, I haven't
the
played Back to the
yeah.
Future game since actually 30 years ago, 2 days from now, I got that Back to the Future 2 and 3 video game, and my
Yeah.
God, it was all I was so disappointed. It might
At
be
least
the
you
worst
didn't
game
get
I've played.
ET.
Oh, I had ET. I had
Listen.
ET on the Atari.
You'll definitely love this Back to the Future game. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I've
with this
played all 5. It's like 5 or 6 episodes, and I played I actually played all of them on Twitch. So, but I
Oh,
don't
and
know
another
if
thing
they.
I'd like to mention about this film, to all those who bemoan physical media, this is the new 4K transfer, obviously, which I've only got the regular Blu-ray. Didn't have the
Yeah.
money for the 4K, but it's on my list. But this is what I'm watching right here is an ad for physical media. This is the 4K. It kind of looks like crap. I guarantee that the 4K disc, when I do get it, will not look like this.
Oh, I know it won't.
Yeah, you are. It might be 4K resolution,
Eight.
but it's compressed to hell.
Merry Christmas, Lee.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, Merry Christmas, y'all, Lee.
But yeah,
And
the game,
thanks-
actually, they did a Ghostbusters version as well. You should get the Ghostbusters game as well by Telltale.
That-
as well.
The Ghostbusters game was actually on sale on Xbox this last time, and I got it for $5.
I got it on my PlayStation store.
What was it? If it's Xbox, that was Xbox
They have
360.
no. They
Or-
they remastered it and they put it on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you can.
Mhm,
buy
I got it.
again. That's a great game to play, and even the Batman Telltale games are brilliant as well.
Oh, those are awesome.
Telltale, yeah, and by Telltale is brilliant. I even played, and I don't even watch the show. I even played The Walking Dead, and that
Oh.
game is deadly, man. I like it.
I
You know.
can't wait for the Wolf Among Us too. That's I want that out so
I've
bad.
also played the Uncharted series as well, right? Played part 1, 2, and 3, and I got the part 4. And I was literally 10 minutes into the game, and I was like, oh, the politics have gotten into gaming now. Okay.
Yeah. They've been there for a while.
No, but in fairness, it's about Drake, right? If you
Mhm.
don't make the fourth one about the main character, Drake, well, then what's the point of calling it Uncharted 4? You know?
Well, it's gonna be his daughter, basically. You know, she's gonna carry on the. You know,
I literally only played 10 minutes. Listen, I played those games. I came across those games by accident. Believe it or not, I have my PlayStation Plus, and you are giving them away because you got PlayStation Plus, so you get free games monthly. So
yeah,
the whole
Xbox been
series-
doing that too.
So the whole series was there to download. So I downloaded it, and I never played this game before. And I was playing part 1, and I loved it. Loved the story, loved the characters. I said, I can't wait to play part 2. Cheryl will tell you, literally 2 days later, I was on part 2 because I'd cleared part 1. Loved part 2. Then we got to part 3. It was getting a bit.
Hey,
I-
Noel, did you notice? I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you notice this part where he comes back? A bunch of the places change their names.
Yeah.
All the store, the bunch
That's
of the
what I said
stores.
to you. Right, you see now, he doesn't go back
Yeah.
to Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the movie, he knocks down one of the pines, and it's
Oh.
now changed. The name
One
is now
Pine Mall.
changed.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, here's some trivia for you. So that mall is actually the Puente Hills Mall in City of Industry, California.
Nice. And what's that famous for?
That's where they filmed Back to the Future.
Okay.
It's where they shot. It's the location.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And from what I can find out, it's one of the rare places where the J.C. Penney and the Macy's are still open.
Wow, because all of ours in Arizona are basically
Actually, I've watched the videos about them as well by those YouTubers that you're talking about earlier on, the company man or the
Company man, Bright Sun Films. You also might like Retail Archaeology.
Yeah, and I love the ones that I don't know which channel, if it's one of those two channels, but they do a whole thing on Disney about Disney parks and about the decisions that they made and stuff.
That is Bright Sun Films. It does a mix.
Yeah,
Bright Sun Films is good.
yeah,
Canadian as well, from Niagara region, just south of Toronto.
Oh,
The most fascinating video on there is Target Canada. You want to see something drive itself into the ground in 2 years through complete and utter mismanagement? Watch that video.
I watched that one. That one was bad.
Literally, we have Walmarts everywhere because Target took over Zellers, which was the competitor, and then Target drove itself out of business. So Walmart now has a complete monopoly in Canada.
By the way, see the alcoholic here, Bert, right? Bert that's sitting on the bench there that gets up causing bloody drunk driver. Well, I was reading trivia on him. He had a very interesting backstory. He was actually back where Marty was in the past. His luck, it tells a whole backstory, but you actually find out how he became homeless. It's bleeding deadly. It is. I don't know if it's anything to do with the game or it was trivia I read. But Bert there was successful at one stage, and he became down and out in his luck, and that's how he became homeless and an alcoholic. But when you see now, when he runs up to this sign here now, guys, right? As I said, throughout the Lone Pine Mall now it's called. See, he made little subtle changes as well as the big changes. As I said, if his father George hadn't knocked Biff out, he wouldn't have got the confidence. But the confidence came about because Marty had that conversation with him saying that he can achieve great things if he puts his mind to it. So there was things like that. But I love this scene, watching them getting into the car now and the car just going off steadily. And by the way, the terrorists are actually from, in this one, they're from, where are they from?
They're supposed to be Libya.
Libya, yeah. Look at this. I just love this part. It's cool. I have that car, by the way. I think he's all seen me little videos. You know how much I love this car.
I want an actual DeLorean.
You know they still make DeLoreans, right?
Yeah, your man.
Yeah, apparently. Well, a lot of them are refurbished too.
Right, yeah, but would you? Oh, I'll tell you, I don't look. I'd buy one myself. I'd buy
it and drive it like once a year.
Yeah, I'd buy one myself. It's that and it's hardest for me, and maybe we'll put Bill and Ted's phone booth in there as well.
Yeah,
my 3 favorite time. Oh, and the original Time Machine from Time Machine. I love that as well. But I do like the new updated Time Machine in the Guy Pearce version. I did like that Time Machine as well. So I love time travel stuff.
Oh, I know.
We were talking about.
Look, they got a Pepsi free bottle in there, right there.
But there you go, the letter. But he gives out. Marty kind of has a pop on him here. What's all this about? You saying not being able to change?
And I believe this is around the time of New Coke as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
Moose Piss.
Yeah, and then they brought out Cherry Coke at this time too.
I love Cherry Coke. I love Cherry Coke.
Okay, I didn't know Cherry Coke till they brought it out because I never had it before. Because you know.
Well, no, it was popular in the 50s.
Yeah, but they didn't. Yeah.
Have to say, ugly car, great time machine though. I mean, your man.
Look at this. See it as an ugly car. Oh my God! Look at that 80s decor.
I know.
He's freaking out. Now they're yuppies.
Well, he doesn't know yet now because it's only when he wakes up the next morning now he notices the little subtle changes. His brother Dave all of a sudden has a respectable job. He's
Well,
not.
why?
Hey,
Here's
Bull.
the question. Oh,
Hey,
go ahead.
Bull, did you ever watch Bosom Buddies?
No.
You didn't watch Bosom Buddies, okay.
What's
Well,
your
we
question, Patrick?
Oh no,
Yeah,
I was
go
just
ahead.
wondering. So they're doing much better now, but they live in the same house. It is a
Yeah.
much nicer house.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that earlier as well. They didn't actually move. They stayed in the same bloody area.
Now that aging
Mhm.
makeup is terrible, though.
I agree with you, but look, you have to admit this is probably one of the best trilogies ever made.
Oh, this is one of the best movies ever made. I just make fun of some things.
Yeah. Oh no, listen, this is by far perfect. There is clear mistakes in them, but I think because, as I said earlier, you can really tell that these guys, even though there was a few little mistakes in it, you could tell that they were really invested in what they were doing. It was a great little story that they put together, and you can tell that they loved making this.
And
Like,
it must never be remade. And at this point, there must never be an actual fourth one.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. Bob
Well,
Gale
actually,
and
there
Robert
is a fourth,
Zemeckis-
but it was a video
Well, yeah,
game.
in the game, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if they were to go in now and make a movie, no.
No, I agree with you. But Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis have actually come out and said,
Well,
as
yeah,
long
they're
as-
not. They're not.
yeah, as
allowing
long as they're
Well, they're
alive.
not dead. They're not dead yet. I guarantee you, the minute that they're in the ground, they're gonna, hey, we're gonna redo Back to the Future.
Right.
No,
If
but
they
then they'll
were,
all be broke.
right, but if they were,
Mhm.
right, if they were, and say they were to do, say we knew already that, right, we're going to do these movies, but we're not going to have an agenda in it. We're going to do these justice, right? And we knew that for a fact, right? Who would you cast as the new Marty McFly, and who would you cast as the new Doc Brown? Now, hypothetically,
Well, no, I see. I'm not even going to do that hypothetically, because there are some roles that I firmly believe should never be recast, and those two roles can only be done by Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. It's one of those
yeah.
situations where I can't see anybody
I
else.
love
in the
that truck.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, Ballstrick. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope this is never remade. But I mean, look,
There are some movies that are sacred. This trilogy
This is
one of them.
sacred. Yeah.
Oh yes, and another actor that is recast for the second movie.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
her mother, there was a couple of people recast. Obviously, the one that plays his girlfriend Jennifer, Cheryl, actually was putting up trivia. Jordan, the while we were watching it, her
Did
mother,
Cheryl fall asleep? 'Cause
no.
she's not talking.
No, she's on her phone there. But Cheryl let us know that her mother actually had been diagnosed with cancer or had died of cancer, and that's why she wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, I knew there was some.
Interesting. Well, here's the interesting fact. Here's the interesting thing. She's featured as the voice actress for all the games. She's also been part. They've used her, the actress, for the books, and also for the animated series that they did. She was back for that. She voiced Lorraine, and not Lorraine.
Or Jennifer. Well, but here's the thing: I can't really. But then we would not have had the wonderful Elizabeth Shue as Jennifer too. I love her.
Yeah. By the way, Ballstrick, Cheryl did give us a bit of trivia that actually made us laugh. Did you hear what? So Steven Spielberg, the director, was sent a note, a letter by the studio to change the name of the movie because he didn't think that a movie with Future
Oh
in it
yeah, I've
would
heard
do
that.
well. And but what was the name of the movie?
I can't remember, but I know it was really stupid.
Spaceman. Yeah, it was. You wanted to call a spaceman from Pluto,
Yeah, that's dumb.
right? So Steven Spielberg sent back a little memo to say, "Haha, we just got your note. That was a funny one." So your man was too embarrassed to say anything, so he kept his mouth shut, and hence we got Back to the Future. But I love this scene. This is just, and the car. How could this car get any cooler? Let's make it fly.
Although I just
Well, we're
closed
going.
up, I'm noticing the U.S. has a lot of stuff that we don't have in Canada on Netflix. Like I own them all on physical media, but
Right.
most of this we don't have.
Well, I go on to UK Netflix, and they got a ton of stuff on UK Netflix. The US
Yeah.
doesn't.
Here, Ballstreck, we were talking, me and Jed were talking earlier about Eric Stoltz, who originally
Mhm.
did 6 weeks of filming of
Oh
this.
God!
I
Oh,
remember,
God, thank God that didn't
remember that
happen.
finally, because this was rumor for years, and then finally on the anniversary, they actually released some footage.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Now, I was saying earlier, okay, there's still a part of me, even though, look, nothing can touch this trilogy, right? Okay. Now, there's rumors that they nearly finished this movie with your man. Now, it's never been verified, but we did get some of those scenes, right?
Well, no, it wasn't finished, but they had filmed a chunk. Also, in terms of the stress Michael J. Fox was under while he was filming Back to the Future, because he was on Family Ties. So during the day, he would spend all day working on Family Ties. Then, because they were filmed in the same studio. Then in the evenings, he would go and film Back to the Future, and he was getting like 2 hours of sleep a night for months.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's look, they recently appeared a couple of years ago, himself and Christopher Lloyd, and it was actually kind of sad because the both of them are getting on a bit. Obviously, he has Parkinson's and stuff, but you know, out of respect for those two, anyway, I do agree these movies should never be touched. But there is still a part of me, a small part of me, that would have loved to see an Eric Stoltz version of this.
Well,
movie.
as a novelty, but not as the official movie.
Exactly.
I think they're. I think the mid '90s was the last opportunity for a fourth film.
Yeah,
it was
94, 95 at the latest.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
I think that's the reason why they put it into a video game.
But
because
come on,
they knew.
Well, I think it had been because Michael J. Fox started on Spin City in '96, and it was shortly after, or I think as he was starting that, was when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
So
it was around 95, 96.
I think it's a missed opportunity. Are you glad that we've just got the trilogy?
It would have been interesting to see, but at the same time, it's like the original Star Wars trilogy. It's hard to imagine, or like Lord of the Rings. There are just some franchises or stories that work best as a three-parter.
Yeah,
and I think anything beyond that might oversaturate it a little bit. I think it tells a complete story all the way through. There isn't really much filler in these movies, maybe a little bit in the third, but no, I think they work brilliantly as a trilogy. And here, so the Back to the Future Part 3 was 1990. So the end of this trilogy being released in theaters is as far away from us right now as the original movie was in the year it takes place.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Yep. And I remember seeing that in 1990. It came out in the summer, from what I remember, and it came out on video right before Christmas. Because I remember watching
I remember that
times over Christmas break on beta.
I was actually a bit worried. I remember at the time, I was actually a little bit worried about the third one, because when I originally saw the trailer, I says, Jesus, they're going back to the Wild West. That's never gonna work. I mean, how are they gonna get out of that one? But of course, then obviously when you watch it, it's very clear. That is, look, for me, number 2 is the weakest. One is obviously the strongest, but 3 is better than 2. But
I find, historically speaking, I now find 2 absolutely fascinating because this is how they saw our future in 1989. And then you compare it, like flying cars will never happen because if it breaks down, you're fucking dead. So that will never happen. But just the way they're envisioning the future, it was more of a utopian view of the future, and the advance. They obviously got the 80s nostalgia right, which was big by 2015. But when you look at the utopian world that they envisioned in 1989 compared to the nightmare that the actual world is from 2015 to 2020, I'm like, yeah, sorry, you missed the mark.
Yeah, boy,
Yeah, they
long
were
shot.
way off.
Way off, yeah. But it
Yeah.
is, actually, and there is a little cameo from a very young Elijah Wood. He's one of the kids that's when Marty goes back into the future calf and he goes over to the gaming machine.
Oh.
Elijah Wood is that little kid that says to him, "You got to use your hands."
That's a baby's game.
Yeah, that's a baby's game. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's Elijah Wood, and there's another young little actor with him there, but that's a young Elijah Wood in that scene.
No,
So,
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah, he has a bleeding sieve on his head.
American Netflix has Jeopardy. Damn.
Yep.
So yeah. So next week we do Back to the Future 2. So I've got the trailer, as I said, so I'll show it up later on for you. But if you are interested in joining the panel for that, guys in the chat or anybody here, let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, depends on how my week is because things are nuts. But yeah, I have to take off. But I just wanted to.
Right. Well, do you want to give your rating for this movie before you leave then?
Well, I don't need to do that. It's a fucking 10.
Okay, there you go.
One of the best movies ever made.
There you go. Well, then that's all the endorsement.
I'm going to go take Lexi out and see if I can finally get her to poop.
No.
In case I don't see us all, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Hey, Bull, I'll hit you up. I want to get your Xbox tag. Maybe we can play some games together on Xbox.
See, I never play online. I'm just I'm more of a casual gamer.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just play by. I think I've played online once.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
on
on
PlayStation 3.
if anybody's interested, just to let you
But I don't know. Yeah, maybe a bunch of us in the new year when everything's locked down and canceled, we can do some online gaming. I have my account. I don't want to give it out here because.
Yeah, I think we should for a laugh because I think it'll be interesting because I hate losing. God knows what.
All right. Well, we'll give it a try. Yeah, maybe in the new year.
We'll in the new year.
Right, but I got a header, folks.
You and Lexi have a great Christmas, right? I'm sure I'll be talking to you over the Christmas, but listen, have a safe one anyway and enjoy yourself.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
See you later.
Have a good Christmas, man.
Right, we'll get Jed's rating, we'll get my rating, and then we'll leave it at that. I see a few of you have already given you our ratings as 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So we'll ask Jed. I think I already know, but let's see where he goes with this.
Oh yeah, it is 10. Yeah, because this is one of my favorite movies. So.
Yeah, I'd have to agree it's a 10. And I mean, we've discussed it all the way through. So I mean, we don't have to give it a review because we've obviously like watched The Witcher and explained things as we.
Yeah, you know I've watched it more than a few times because of everything I know about the movie.
But if you haven't watched it, my suggestion is that you go find it, sit down and watch the first one, and then you've got a whole week now to try get your hands on the second part. So if a lot more you want to get involved in the chat, remember a whole week to try find the second part. You will get it, trust me. I was able to get it tonight, and if I'm able to get it, trust me, with the new EU rules in place, I'm sure you guys in other countries to get your hands on part 2. So that'll be next week. Obviously, it'll be after the Christmas, heading into the New Year week, obviously. So I will see you then. So it's a 10 for me. So remember, it's not normal scheduling, obviously, this week because it's Christmas. So all I'll just say to you is I'll stream when I can. And I'll just want to say thanks on behalf of me and Cheryl for all the support all year. Obviously, we will do a stream before the New Year hits. Obviously, we'll do a few of them. But what I'm saying is this week, obviously Christmas week, it's busy. I'm going to be very busy tomorrow anyway. Go over to see the parents. And then when I come back, then I have all the prep to do for Christmas Day. And then obviously then I'm going to be cooking Christmas Day and stuff like that. And then by Stevens' Day, which is Stevens' Day here, Boxing Day in the UK, Then I'll do be so tired. Then I'll do bottom out, so I won't be definitely streaming then. But we'll do streams after the Christmas period. So until then, Merry Christmas. I won't wish us a Happy New Year because obviously I will be back before then.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, everybody have a good Christmas.
There's Gerald. But listen,
Try not to stress out too much. You know?
And Retro Dicky put a picture up, as I said this morning, of the trilogy. I know you have the trilogy. If you would like to join us for part 2 or 3, let me know, and we will more than happy to bring you on, Retro Dicky, because I know you have them, and you can come on and talk about them if you want to while you're watching. So yeah, listen, have a safe Christmas, guys. Enjoy. I know it's not the Christmas that we all wanted, but but listen, make the most of it. We, as I said, we will be around, just not Christmas Day. I'll be around all that period. As I said, we will be doing a few more, but normal scheduling, all the usual streams that we have will be back in January. So we'll just wing it with a couple of different streams up until the new.
Well, no, it's good that we could do this the day before, though, too. So everybody got a little something in before Christmas.
Exactly, and that's why I picked Back to the Future, because it is a movie in Ireland, especially that's played. The trilogy is played over the Christmas here on multiple stations. So that's why I decided to do it, because it is a film, even though it's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that they have on over the Christmas.
Yeah.
So I kind of connected to. So I like watching it over the Christmas period. Right. I'm going to say goodnight, but I want to say thank you to everybody that contributed to Super Chat and everybody that in the chat. Thank you to me guests, Ballstreck and Jed. Thanks for joining us.
Really no problem, brother. Anytime.
Not a bother. It was actually brilliant. And Retro Dicky says he would love to. Right, well, we do it next Wednesday, Retro. So what I'll do is, if you could do me a favor and send me your email address, maybe on Messenger, so I have it there. So Wednesday, then I can send you an email and you can join us. So we'll have Retro Dicky joining us again. New person on the stream. This is the whole point. That's why I want to bring Back to the Future fans on as well. So thank you for that. Right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna say good night. Enjoy our Christmas. Stay safe, and I will talk to you during the week. Obviously, a little after Christmas, but it won't be too long. But listen, enjoy it. Don't eat too much. Who am I kidding?
Yeah. Don't go into food coma and have a good Christmas.
But listen, enjoy it. Good night.